You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, 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 what it do, what it do, what it do? Brethren and sistren, boys and girls, hermanos, mi hermanas, ladies and lads, kings and queens, and everything in between. Y'all know what time it is. The doctor's in the house. What it do, what it do, what it do, man. And one man, hopefully everybody's doing good out there. Hopefully y'all got a chance to catch the little press conference, man. I thought the press conference was decent. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really care for the commentary, but I never really do, so that's nothing really that's not really a shocker there, you feel me? You know, I feel like they be one-sided with their commentary and their questions and their remarks and their, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, you feel me? I'm gonna just get into it. You know, for example, we saw Vito Milnicki, the American. You know, he was kind of jawing and starting a little back and forth with his opponent, and they said, "Oh, it's because he's spicy." You know, he's spicy, and he's what they say. He's an Italian from New Jersey, so he's spicy. You see what I'm saying? And then when Puma Martinez was getting in Bam Rodriguez's face, you know, he said, "Oh, because you know I'm from Miami, and there's a huge population of Argentinians, you know, Argentines, and he's Argentine, and so because of that, he's spicy, you know." And then when Devin Haney gets up there, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Because I don't think there's anything wrong with their antics, right? But then Devin Haney gets up there, and he's, you know, doing a little gyration, moving around, and they said, "Oh, well, you know, I think it's a little bit of nervous energy." Like, how is that antic moving around as nervous energy? I mean, maybe it could be, but could it be an extra aggressive when you're about to fight, be considered nervous energy too, or something bad? Or like, I just feel like sometimes we try to hyper analyze things so much because we already have a negative or perception of the person or the thing that we're talking about. Like, I don't know if he's nervous. He might be nervous. I think he probably should be nervous because I had Brian Norman winning. But I don't think there's anything nervous about looking at somebody's eye, not breaking the stare and moving around. And he's kind of showing them like, hey, man, you know, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dance around you like we kind of expect. So I don't know, man. I just feel like they just go out their way to say something crazy, man, you know, and then when there's enough stuff to actually be critical of, they find a way to say something positive. For example, what's a guy on Fight Hype? I think it's Mark Villegas. He used to provide commentary, ringside judge and stuff like that for PBC. Ryan Garcia got, you know, he has a title shot with Mario Barrios. You know what this man said? This man said that Ryan Garcia has a great team to get him a title shot. Yes, that's true. I don't disagree, but that's bullcrap. He shouldn't be getting a title shot from anybody, especially not the WBC. Ryan Garcia is 1-4 in his last 4 fights. And really, you could even say that he's only won one of his last 4 fights. One of his fights, the reason why I say kind of, is because one of his fights with Devin Haney was a no contest. It doesn't really count. It doesn't count. So it's like it doesn't exist. The other fight was with Gervonta Tank Davis. Some people say he quit, right? Even if he didn't quit, who cares? He got stopped. His other fight was with Oscar Duarte. He did win that. But Oscar Duarte accused him of being on PEDs and he was overweight. And then the very subsequent fight, the next fight, coincidentally, after Oscar Duarte accused him of being on PEDs, he was actually discovered to be on PEDs and test positive and come in overweight against Devin Haney. But the response to him getting a title shot is not how disgusting the WBC is, not how terrible boxing is, not how nonsensical and trash and garbage the whole gosh dang system of boxing is right now. It's to compliment Ryan Garcia and his team. It's not to say that he doesn't deserve it. It's not to say that he just got off of a suspension by the WBC for having habitual rants of racism, multiple rants of racism, saying that he hates black people, he hates Muslim, and he also wants to resurrect a black man that was killed by police brutality in George Floyd and wants to kill him again. That's why he was suspended by the WBC. And then when they uplift the suspension, he goes right into a WBC title shot with Mario Barrios. And he's coming off of a loss to Rolly Romero, who they tried to spoon feed him a belt because they said Rolly Romero wasn't good. So he's getting back-to-back title shots against guys that are title holders, because Rolly Romero's a title holder now, that the general boxing consensus, whether you agree or not, the general consensus is that the WBC champion Mario Barrios is the worst champion in welterweight and in boxing, and Rolly Romero, the WBA champion, is the worst champion in boxing. So he had 2 title shots against 2 of the worst representations of champions in boxing. But we're gonna highlight the fact that he has a good team around him. Fucking stupid asses, bro. Anyway, before I get to the nonsense, man, let me hit this roll call, man. Shout out to my brother Anubis in the building. That's just the type of energy I'm noticing and I'm putting down right now. Shout out to my brother Ramon in the building. Big salute to the big member boss lady. 2 cents in the building. One time for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Big member. Shout out to 2 cents, man. Go check her out if you haven't checked her out before. You know what I'm saying? You would enjoy her channel. I think it's dope. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite channels to actually frequent. Actually, to be honest, yeah, she's one of 3 channels that I actually frequent. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to her. Yeah, go check her out, man. You know, we can't see. You can see me now. We good? Uh-oh, we can't see me. Oh Lord, you can't see me. I'm in the Tony Yayo. You know what I'm talking about? Or the John Cena. Yeah. 2 cents, and I was rolling my eyes at the screen. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I like Benavidez. I like Benavidez. I like Yard. I like Bam. I like Puma. I like all these fighters. But I'm just saying, like, if Devin Haney and Brian Norman would have started shoving, they would have said, you know, it would have been unprofessional. If Devin, and I'm not a big Devin Haney, me and 2 cents have this in common. I'm a Tank guy. Now I would say that she likes Tank a little bit more than I do, and me and her don't agree on everything. But some things are common sense you can't really deny. It's like, let's be honest, if Devin Haney would have stood still, they would have been critical. If he would have broke the stare first, it would have been critical. If he would have said nothing, they would have been critical. If he was moving around like he did, they would have been critical. If he would have started pushing and being rambunctious, they would have been critical. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes we got to realize that it's not the person that we're judging, that we're trying to bestow judgment on. It's our perception of that person or that thing that we just want to say something. Like, you know, we just want to say something negative, bro. There was a whole bunch of things that you could have said something about having nervous energy, being negative. I will say this, though. Devin Haney, he looking like a weight bully. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, it's funny because Devin Haney and David Benavidez both are being accused of being a weight bully. And sometimes they have been showing some antics in the ring to demonstrate being a weight bully to earn that title. But I also want to be fair, too. In boxing, that's a typical ritual in boxing. Like, you know, you try to get down as low as you can comfortably, right? But I do think it's just wild that Devin Haney's moving up to another division and he still looks more drained than, you know, than the other folks. It's like, you should look comfortable. He doesn't look comfortable. I mean, he doesn't look uncomfortable. I'm just saying, like, his face, his facial structure and his cheeks were all sucked in more than I thought they would be because he's at 147 now. I just thought that was funny. Shout out to Cool Breeze in the building. He said, shout out to 2 cents. Shout out to Smoochie in the building one time for the ladies. We got Smoochie in the building. Cool Breeze said, no, they said some people think it's nervous energy and some people might think he's excited. No. Claudia said some people might think he's excited. Sergio Mora specifically is the one that said that it could be nervous energy. You could say that about anybody. That's the whole point. It doesn't matter. Why did they bring up something negative? It doesn't matter whether they said it or whether they were wondering it. The point is that they brought it up. I don't care what people are saying. We're talking about what they're saying. People don't have a mic. They have a mic. So if you want to correct me on what they said, did you hear them ask if Puma Martinez was demonstrating nervous energy? If the answer is no, then what's your point? Cool Breeze. Did you hear them say that, oh, Anthony Yard, who was being extra complimentary of his opponent, did they say that that was nervous energy? Did you hear them say that? No. So if they didn't bring up nervousness or anything negative about any other fighter, then you just proved my point. And I don't understand what your point is. Shout out to my brother George, the last Dragonborn. What's good, my brother? Once again, it's about them being hypercritical. You know what I'm saying? Anybody could wonder anything. You see what I'm saying? So I wish I could get away with half of what Ryan got away with to keep. You feel me? Shout out to Smoochie. Smoochie says, I wish I could get away with half of what Ryan gets away with and keep my job. You feel me? I'm telling you. That's what I feel too. It's crazy, man. But before we get to it, though, before we get to the nonsense, we do have to say our prayer and thank the Most High. You know what I'm saying? That is something that belongs to this channel that we always do. So please join me and bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for your blessings, Lord. We thank you for your guidance. And we ask you for just more direction. You know, sometimes it's hard for us to hear you. You know, sometimes we try and we just get confused, and but we have to have faith in you as well. So we just ask that you allow us to listen a little better. It's not that you're not, we know that you're being that you directed our lives, that you are leading us in the right direction, you know, and putting the right things on our hearts, but we just want to make sure that we're paying attention more and we speak to you more, especially when we start off our day. You know, want to get out of our bed on the right foot, and what's the best way to do that besides talking to you, Lord? So please make it easier and more obvious for us to hear your word, and encourage us to not only do the best thing for our lives, but for others as well, and just be a presence in our lives even more, and allow us to accept you as a presence and seek your word more often than we have done. So we thank you for your blessings. We ask you for continuous forgiveness, and also we ask you for mercy on those in Jamaica that are struggling, those in Nigeria that are being persecuted, those that are going through war all over the world, in every country, for every complexion, at every representation. Lord, we just ask you for peace, and we ask you for the strength to keep going and remain strong. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. So yeah, man, so let's talk about this. So 2 cents said damn big as fuck. I'm not gonna lie, man, like, cause that's what I want to say too. Like, it's not that I'm some pro Devin Haney guy. I really feel like sometimes people get me misconstrued, like, or maybe I'm not communicating effectively. I don't know, but I think it's just people don't always listen effectively, because I'm a boxing fan, bro. Like, there's fighters. I'm human as well. You know, I have my preference. There's fighters I like more than others, but there's no fighter that I like more than the sport. So I could notice things where people are anti this fighter, like in this case Devin Haney, and then they're pro another fighter, in this case that we were talking about with Ryan Garcia and the WBC belt opportunity that he's getting again. It's not that I'm anti anybody. I'm just also going to speak on what I observe, you know. And so right at the beginning, it may seem like I was pro Devin Haney because I noticed the nonsense that they were spewing, being condescending towards a young man who's stepping up for a challenge against a guy that we consider the best welterweight champion and WBO champion, Brian Norman, right? It's not that I'm actually pro him per se. I'm just not anti him. But I will also say, like 2 Cents said, that I thought it was kind of alarming that he was, he looks, like I said, he was obviously moving around. He doesn't look like he's like sluggish and a zombie up there, but he just looked a little bit more drained than I anticipated. That's all. I think he's going to be fine. Devin Haney's always fine. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to, I do think it's important to point that out, because when we talk about things like rehydration clauses, I feel like we omit that. You know, it's like people will call Devin Haney and David Benavidez a weight bully, but then at the same time, they'll talk trash about Canelo or Tank or even the IBF sanctioned body as a whole for implementing rehydration clauses. It's like, which one do you want? You see what I'm saying? One, the rehydration clause will protect fighters from fighting a guy that's 2 divisions above them. You know what I'm saying? Who's just able to make the weight limit the night before and then blow up. And then the other one, you see what I'm saying? The other one is which is the rehydration clauses. And the other one is to kind of benefit the fighters that are capable of doing that. Because I do personally believe that is, I don't want to say a talent, but I mean, it is a characteristic of your body. Everybody can't drop down to 140 and then rehydrate that quickly. Like, some people will struggle to do that. As you can see, like, for example, Janabek, right? Janabek's also a guy that I consider a weight bully. To me, it's hard for me to call. I see what Devin Haney does. I can understand people call him a weight bully, but he never misses weight and he never has a fight canceled because of weight. So I have to say that he's good at what he does. Janabek struggled making weight, and he actually had fights canceled. Virgil Ortiz will come in overweight habitually. Devin Haney has never missed weight. So at some point we have to realize it is kind of like a talent or just part of your body, you know what I'm saying, that he's taking advantage of. And that's just part of boxing. That's what boxing does, you know? So, I mean, I'm 5'11". Some people think it's called like height divisions too. Some people make up stuff on their own because they're incompetent and ignorant, but it's like they're weight divisions. They're not height divisions. So like for me, I'm a tall guy. Well, not tall, but I'm taller than average. You know, I'm 5'11", and I boxed at 140. So people will say, oh, those dimensions, as far as my vertical dimensions, like my height, it'll be like I'm a weight bully. But no, I could comfortably get down to 140 because I walk around right now. I probably weigh like 160, probably 158 or something like that. I have a lighter frame, I guess. I'm tall, but I'm long and lanky. You know what I'm saying? So I'm athletic, but I'm lanky. So some people, just because you may think that they can't fit it, like for example, Gabriela Fundora, she's not a weight bully. She never misses weight. Her last fight at 112, she weighed in at 110. How is she a weight bully? Because she's tall? Let me say that again. Let me ask that again. How is she a weight bully? Because she's tall?
You dumbass.
It's weight divisions, not height divisions. You understand what I'm saying? So even her brother, Sebastian Fedora, he's tall, but he has a smaller bone density. He's thin. He has a thinner frame. It's like Nick Ball. Nick Ball is short, but he's in the same weight division as Rafael Espinosa. Espinosa's what, 6'1"? Nick Ball's what, 5'2", 5'3"? But Nick Ball's a sturdier, stockier, huskier guy. You see what I'm saying? More brolic type of guy. He has more mass on him. You know what I'm saying? And then Rafael Espinosa, he's more taller and lankier. You see what I'm saying? He's taller and lankier, and he's thinner. Probably has a lower bone density and stuff like that. So that's why they do it by weight and not by height. You see what I'm saying? Because weight is a measurement of force. You know what I'm saying? And ideally, they want to put you in with another fighter that's of similar force generation as you, right? Weight equals mass times gravity, which is mass times acceleration, which M times A is also what? Force. So weight is another way to calculate your force that your body can create. So there's a science behind it, is what I'm saying, for your stupid ass who tries to say that, oh, you're too tall for a division. Bitch, you can't be too tall for a division. You freaking idiot. It's okay to be dumb, but you should be dumb and quiet. That's the problem with social media and Twitter and Instagram and all these other things. When you used to, if you were dumb, you had to know your role. You know what I'm saying? Now with Twitter and comment sections and all this stuff, you could be loud and stupid. And there's enough other idiots that will agree with you to make you feel like you're smart. No, you're just a clown. You're just a dummy. That's basically what I'm saying. There's a science behind it. Just because you don't understand or comprehend the science doesn't mean it's non-existent. Those things are not synonymous. You may not understand something, but it can still make sense to somebody who does understand it. You dummy. You're trying to argue with me. People are crazy, bro. They're trying to say, oh, this person's too tall for the division. There's no such thing as being too tall for a division. There's no such thing as being too tall for a division. Unless you don't know how boxing works. That's basically what I'm saying. Doc a weight bully. It's crazy. Shout out to Smoochie, said Doc a weight bully. I might be. You know, so I might be. I might have been a weight bully back in my amateur days. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to Ramon. He says, I'm not tripping because Brian Norman Jr., that's his weight class. Right. Talk to him, Ramon. Shout out to Ramon in the building. Two Cents said Fedora is definitely a weight bully. He like 185, 190, 590. But look, check me out though, Smooch. Not Smoochy, sorry. 2 Cents. He be eating burgers. The man be, you don't remember what he before he beat Tim Tszyu the first time? The man was eating a cheeseburger the night before, bro. That's not a weight bully. You know what I'm saying? He just has a tall frame. You know, it's like there's some people that are short and stocky. Like I have a homeboy, we used to call him 50 because he looked kind of like 50 Cent. He's like what, 5? He's probably like 5'9". But the man brawler, I ain't gonna say he barely works out. He works out a little bit, but he's just naturally cut up and big. You see what I'm saying? And he played running back or whatever. But when we actually work out together, he's not that he wasn't that much stronger than me. He looks a lot stronger than me, but he wasn't that much stronger. It's just some people are just have different body makeups. You see what I'm saying? Different physiques and stuff like that. So we have to acknowledge that as well. But I'm not mad at anybody saying he's a weight bully. Fedora's a weight bully. Both Fedoras, Benavidez, Devin Haney. But what I am going to stress though, if you are going to call them a weight bully, then you have to also call everybody else a weight bully, because there's a lot of fighters that use that to their benefit. Shout out to Ramon. Also, it matters, but people have different levels of metabolism. You see what I'm saying? People's metabolism are different. You see what I'm saying? Some people's are more effective than others. Some people's are better than others, if you will. You know, depending on how you look at it. Some people want to have a slower metabolism because they're trying to bulk up and gain weight or whatever they're trying to do. Some people want a faster, more effective metabolism because they want to lose weight. Depends on what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So I want to emphasize that, you know, you never hear about Janibek being a bully, a weight bully. The man literally was hospitalized against Andre Mikhailovich because he fainted from trying to make weight. Virgil Ortiz is another person who habitually misses weight and was also hospitalized and had rhabdomyolysis. If you realize, if you Google, just a quick Google search what rhabdomyolysis is, he already said it wasn't hereditary. He already says he didn't get it from drug use or drug abuse. Those are ways that you can get it. He said he got it from strenuous workouts because his workouts are too rigorous. And if you read between the lines, he's basically saying that he had to work out extra hard to do what? To make weight. Why do you think he hasn't had rhabdomyolysis since he's been at 154? Exactly, because it was strictly related to him trying to cut weight to make 147 because he's a weight bully. But it's just so funny because we will say, oh, you know, I just saw a clip of Ryan Garcia talking about he thinks rehydration clauses should be eliminated out the sport. That's cool, right? And people say, oh, well, Tank had a rehydration clause against Ryan Garcia. Well, the weight limit that Ryan Garcia, the division that he was fighting at, was 135. Last time I checked, they fought at 136, meaning that he was given an extra pound to make the weight to accommodate Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, up until that point, he was never officially at super lightweight. I know this because I don't practice revisionist history. I actually pay attention to boxing. When Ryan Garcia fought above 135 before against Emmanuel Tago and against Javier Fortuna, but those were at catch weights for his opponents, not for him. Meaning he was never officially at 140 until after Gervonta Tank Davis. And then what does he do when he gets to 140, chat? Let's say it together. He fought Oscar Duarte, and what did he do? He missed weight. And then he fought Devin Haney after that, and what did he do? He missed weight and popped dirty for PEDs. So you can't be the one person telling me that you want to get rid of rehydration clause, but then the same person also habitually, consecutively, and consistently misses weight. You're the reason why we have rehydration clauses, bum. Because you like to abuse weight limits. So which one is it? You can't be against rehydration clauses, but then be a habitual overweight bastard. You see what I'm saying? You can't tell me about rehydration clauses. So whenever somebody uses Ryan Garcia was weight trained against this person, that's a terrible person to use that as an example. Use somebody else. Because it makes sense that he would be on a rehydration clause because he habitually misses weight. Dummy. But y'all don't want to talk boxing though. Y'all want to talk nonsense with other people that are infatuated with the same person you want to impregnate you. That's all. It's just a bunch of gosh dang fanboys and fangirls that don't really want to talk boxing. That's what it is. You can't tell me that somebody, oh, it's bad to have rehydration clauses, but then also tell me that it's bad for somebody to come in overweight. Well, the rehydration doesn't eliminate, but it significantly mitigates and reduces the amount of times people will come in overweight. That's what they're for. So I'm not saying they're good or bad. What I am saying is fight in your appropriate weight class. with your fat ass. That's it. Just fight in your appropriate weight class. Then you won't need a rehydration clause, and you won't need to be a weight bully. Just fight in the appropriate weight class that you can make comfortably. Boom, problem solved. But you don't want to solve the problem, right? You just want to talk about nonsense. You feel me? That's it. That solves the problem right there. Just fight in your appropriate weight class. You won't need a rehydration clause, and you won't need to be overweight. Come in as a weight bully. Boom, simple. But anyway, like I said, shout out to these fighters, man. I think David Benavidez and Anthony Yarde's a great fight. I think Bam Rodriguez and Puma Martinez is a great fight. Again, you know, Bam Rodriguez, the American WBC, WBO champion. He won the WBO in his last fight against the undefeated South African Fumile Cafu. That was a great win. He said that was one of his most difficult fights, and I agree with him. That fight was tough. And shout out to him, man. Bam Rodriguez is a beast. But the Argentine former unified champion, because he had the IBF and WBA belt. A lot of people don't know that. The only reason why Puma Martinez doesn't have the WBA belt anymore is because he vacated it in order to pursue a rematch with Kazuto Ioka, which was a great fight. You know what I'm saying? He won both of them. So shout out to Puma Martinez. This is gonna be a great fight, man. I think personally, I think this is gonna be fight of the night. I think it's gonna be the most competitive, exciting fight throughout the duration of the fight. I think I'm going with Bam Rodriguez, but, you know, it's going to be a great fight, man. Shout out to Bam Rodriguez. Congratulations to the Rodriguez family. They just welcomed a boy, I believe, a baby boy. Shout out to them. So that makes me a little nervous for Bam Rodriguez. You know, granted, he wasn't away. You know, he was still in Saudi Arabia, but, you know, it just, that has other stuff in your mind, you know. And, you know, like I always say, man, distractions are distractions, whether they're good and bad. This is good or bad. This is a beautiful distraction, but you are going to be, I mean, it's natural, right? You're going to be thinking about the welfare of your baby and your I don't know if it's his wife or girlfriend or whatever, but his significant other. He's going to be worried about the welfare. So don't take your mind off of it a little bit. That's just natural, unless you're just a cold-hearted I don't know, heathen. I don't know. But yeah, so hopefully he stay focused. I think if anybody could do it, it's Bam Rodriguez. But I think it's going to be a pretty tough fight, man. I think it's going to be the best fight. I think it's going to be fight of the night. I think all this card is full from top to bottom with fights that are almost 50-50, practically 50-50. But I do think that this one here is going to be the fight of the night. I think it's going to be the most competitive from start to finish, no matter if it finishes early or late. I think it's going to be the most competitive from start to finish. I think that Devin Haney and Brian Norman, I think that that's a 50-50 fight as well, but I think that's a 50-50 fight on paper. I think one fighter, whether it's Brian Norman or Devin Haney, I think one of them will dominate in the ring. I don't think it'll look as 50-50. I don't think it's going to be as competitive in the ring as it is on paper, because you can see how their styles compare and contrast, how they have pros and cons for them, clear advantages, clear disadvantages. I'm going with Brian Norman, but I think Devin Haney could win, partially because he was moving around and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, kind of giving him a glimpse of what he could possibly do, and be the one that looks more athletic in the ring. So I personally don't believe it was nervous energy, but it could have been. You never know. You know what I'm saying? I think, but I have Brian Norman winning. And I want to also say too, before I get into this next point, which is the meat and potatoes of this show, I also want to say that I think Sam Noakes and Abdullah Mason's a 50-50 fight as well. I think that's a very good fight, but I also think that, once again, I think that's going to be more 50-50 on paper than it will in the ring. I think one of them will dominate, and I'm going with Abdullah Mason to beat Sam Noakes. But it's going to be a good fight. That's why I don't even care who the main event is. As long as I get to see the fights, I don't care who comes up first, second, third, fourth, or whatever. You know, I think it's going to be a good fight. But the main topic on this card is that I think people are, and maybe I'm tripping, I want to know y'all opinion. Do y'all think that this fight is underrated? As much as it's being talked about, I definitely think that Devin Haney and Brian Norman is the most talked about fight. It's probably the most anticipated fight, the most highly anticipated fight, the most intriguing fight. But I also think that this has the most on the line. Now, obviously, the one that has literally the most on the line would be Bam Rodriguez. I think people forget that, right? They're all title fights, but Sam Noakes and Abdullah Mason's for a vacant WBO title at lightweight. David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde is for David Benavidez WBC light heavyweight belt. And then Brian Norman and Devin Haney's for Brian Norman's WBO welterweight belt, 147. But Bam Rodriguez and Puma, that's for 3 belts. That's for Bam's WBC and WBO, and for Puma's IBF. Sorry. Yeah. No, WBA, excuse me. He gave up the IBF, right? Yeah, he gave up the IBF. Yeah, it's for Puma's WBA and Bam's WBC and WBO, right? So it's 3 belts on the line. So that fight has the most at stake when it comes to hardware, accolades. You know, I value that a lot. So for me, that one has the most at stake. But in actuality and reality, to me, I think Devin Haney and Brian Norman have the most to lose, right? With Devin Haney having the most to lose by himself, because Brian Norman's, they're both young, but Brian Norman's younger, right? And people don't really know him or expect much. Devin Haney is a former undisputed champion, right? He's the youngest undisputed champion on the male side. One time for Gabriela Fondor, she's the youngest undisputed champion in all of boxing. One time for the ladies. But Devin Haney, for the male side, he's the youngest to ever do it. He's the one that's been in there with Lomachenko, George Kambosos, you see what I'm saying? And other guys like that. I'm not going to go through his entire resume, like Yuriorkis Gamboa, Antonio Moran. I'm not going to go through all that. But he's the one that has done it. You see what I'm saying? Just beat Regis Ruguru Prograis. So people are already looking for reasons to count him out. You see what I'm saying? People are acting like, oh, he hasn't done anything since beating since the fight with Ryan Garcia. I even saw somebody say that, somebody said that, yeah, Ryan Garcia, if he beats Brian Norman, if Devin Haney beats Brian Norman, this will put him back on the pound for pound list. And then this dickhead responded and said, one victory doesn't put you back on pound for pound. I said, huh? He said one victory doesn't put you back on the pound for pound list.
You dumbass.
Does Devin Haney only have one victory? Or would this be two victories? Because last time I checked, didn't he just beat the former Olympian, Jose Carlos Ramirez? Yeah, he watched him. So it wouldn't be. So even by his own standards, he's a dummy. That's why you got to love ignorant buffoons, man. Because if you let people talk, they'll demonstrate to you how dumb they are. This man said that one fight doesn't put you on pound for pound. It wouldn't be one fight. He just beat Jose Carlos Ramirez. So technically, from a quantitative standpoint, it would be two fights. And then not to mention the second fight, if he beats Brian Norman, he'll effectively beat the guy who we consider the best welterweight champion right now. So he effectively beat the best guy in a division up. So just because you don't like Devin Haney, don't take away things that are rigid. That's rigid. That's not subjective. That's not an opinion. The fact is that Brian Norman is ranked by the Ring Magazine as a #1 welterweight. Everybody considers him the #1 welterweight. I mean, do you think Mario Barrios, the WBC champion, is the best welterweight? No. Do you think the WBA champion Rolly Romero is the best welterweight? No. Do you think Lewis Crocker, the IBF champion, is the best welterweight? No. So you can say that you don't know anybody that Brian Norman beat. I guarantee you don't know anybody that the aforementioned other champions beat, especially not Lewis Crocker. So Devin, you got to give credit where credit is due, man. You may not like somebody. Hey, I don't really like Teofimo Lopez, but to me, he's the best champion at 140. That doesn't mean that I think he'll beat Gary Anton Russell, the WBA champion, or Subra Matias, the WBC champion, or Richard Sahich is the IBF champion. But I'm saying from a career standpoint, the most accomplished, the one who's had the most longevity as a champion, because the other belts have been switching hands like hotcakes, a hot potato, that I have to say that Teofimo is the best at 140 if I'm going to pick anybody. So you should always be able to maintain some level of objectivity. You see what I'm saying? Or you're going to sound like a little schoolgirl. But like I said, a lot of these people, they're not boxing fans. They're just fans of a certain boxer that they want to impregnate them. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Jay Sharp in the building. But yeah, man, so I have Norman Jr. winning. But I do think that Devin Haney himself has a lot at stake. But I think this fight has the most at stake, because if Devin Haney loses, they're going to toss him in the trash. They already got him in the trash. They got him about halfway out the trash. But if he loses, he in the trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
And then if Brian Norman loses, they're going to bring back all of a sudden, oh, he fooled us because, he looked bad against Boca Chica. He looked bad against Quentin Randall. Oh, he wasn't that good. Who did he beat? All he beat was Jin Sasaki. All he beat was Derek Cuevas. They're going to say he's trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
So to me, it seems like Anthony Yard, this is do or die, because he's the one that has 3 losses, right? I saw a funny graphic by the Ring Magazine. They said that all the fighters on this card combined were the top 4 fights. They said that they have like 196 wins and 3 losses. But all 3 of the losses came for Anthony Yard, because Brian Norman's undefeated, Devin Haney's undefeated, David Benavidez is undefeated, Puma Martinez is undefeated, and Bam Rodriguez is undefeated. Anthony Yard has all 3 losses. I said, bro, come on, man. Y'all could have made a better way to do that, bro. Y'all could have thought of a little bit more, I don't know, considerate way to put that. You know what I'm saying? All 3 losses came for Anthony Yard, because Anthony Yard lost to Beterbiev, he lost to Kovalev, and he lost to Lyndon Arthur. But he did avenge that Lyndon Arthur loss by beating him twice. They had a trilogy. But so I'm just saying that Anthony Yard, if he loses again, you would think that he'll be in a bad place. But no, because like I said, all of his losses would be justified. Even if he loses to David Benavidez, no one's going to hold it against him for losing to the monster. The Mexican monster, David Benavidez, you see what I'm saying? No one holds it against him for losing to Beterbiev, who's an undisputed champion in the light heavyweight division. No one's going to hold it against him for losing to Kovalev when he was a crusher. He wasn't quite the biggest crusher, but he was still the crusher. And then the Lyndon Arthur, you can't hold it against him, right? Because he avenged it twice. So, and plus he's British. You know what I'm saying? The UK, they love fighting, man. They don't throw you away after one loss. They still respect the fighters. You feel what I'm saying? So I think with Devin Haney and Brian Norman, the fact that Devin Haney's they're already looking for reasons to throw him away or be negative about him, like say things like he has nervous energy or he could have nervous energy. Shout out to Cool Breeze. He could have nervous energy, right? They're looking for ways to throw him out. So if he loses, they're going to say that he's garbage. Even despite him being undisputed, despite him being a multi-division champion. I just think that's trash. Despite it only being his first loss. If he does lose to Brian Norman, you know. And then like I said, Brian Norman, he has a lot of bravado and he has a lot of charisma, but they won't stand behind him. You know what I'm saying? I'm with whoever, winner or loser, I'm rocking with him. You know what I'm saying? I rock with Brian Norman more. I like his personality more. I never really been a big Devin Haney guy, but like I said, I'm just not anti anybody. I'm not anti Devin Haney. I don't hate Devin Haney. So I won't be rooting for him, and I'll be rooting against him in this fight, but I don't even really see it as me rooting against him per se. May the best man win. I'm just rooting for Brian Norman, but I don't really see it say that I'm rooting against Devin Haney. I wouldn't be mad if he wins. If he wins, he wins. He deserves it. You see what I'm saying? He's taking chances. That's more than a lot of these other fighters are doing, and more than what Ryan Garcia is doing. It's so funny that we say, oh, Devin Haney has to beat Ryan Garcia. How about Ryan Garcia has to win a fight? How about Ryan Garcia has to be a champion? And people are saying, oh, yeah, well, they're setting this up for, you know, it's already written that they're going to set this up for Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia, their rematch to be for a unification belt, right? Or unification for Brian Norman's WBO title and Mario Barrios' WBC title. They're saying that hopefully Ryan beats Barrios. We heard that before, right? Because we were like, oh, hopefully Ryan beats Rolly. Remember that? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so we heard this before. But anyway, they ideally for the event planners and the people that invest in the sport monetarily, they would like to see Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia rematch because that's already big, but it'll be even bigger if it's a unification for the WBO and WBC belts that they would have won off of Brian Norman and Mario Barrios respectively. Now, I will say this. People act like everybody wants to have a conspiracy, right? We've been here before, like I said, bro. Not just have we been here before in boxing, we've been here before with these literal same two guys. You don't remember Ryan Garcia was supposed to beat Rolly and set up the rematch? Oh, you forgot about that, right? What happened? The plans fell apart. That didn't happen because Ryan Garcia sold, fumbled the bag. He lost, right? And then before, when we were supposed to have the legitimate fight, Ryan Garcia cheated, right? And then even if you don't like those examples, you say, oh, Doc, that's just them. Okay, what happened with Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder? You don't remember? That was another Riyadh-affiliated card. Day of Reckoning, I believe, is what it was called. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Day of Reckoning was a Riyadh season card with Turki Al-Sheikh. The whole point of that was to match up Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder to clash. They fought on the same night. Anthony Joshua fought Otto Wallin, beat him. And then Deontay Wilder fought what we now know as a drug cheat in Joseph Parker, Joe Blow. We know with that booger sugar, that white girl, that 8-ball, that crack cocaine, that crack. You know what I'm saying? He fought him and he lost. Meaning that it didn't go down as planned. So it doesn't matter what the plans are. You still have to go in there in the ring and win. You know what I'm saying? And if Ryan Garcia beats Mario Barrios, hey, all credit to him. But I'm going with Mario Barrios in that fight. And if Mario Barrios loses, I'm done with Mario Barrios. I'm done defending him. You know I like Mario Barrios. He's actually one of my favorite fighters to watch, for better or for worse. He's always in an exciting fight, win or lose. You know what I'm saying? It's just that his last fight against Pacquiao, I thought that he edged it out, but it was a draw, and I'm not mad at that because he didn't do enough to convincingly separate himself. Obviously, it was a draw, right? And then before that, I think he had another draw. I think he has back-to-back draws, right? His other fight was against Abel Ramos, and he was looking sharp the first 4 rounds, but I maintain that something must have happened to his eye or his vision or was compromised or something because it was a complete drop-off after the 4th round. And it wasn't like, oh, Abel Ramos, he made some significant adjustment that was noticeable. I just think it was just Mario Barrios just didn't look good anymore. I don't know. I still don't know what happened, man. And shout out to Bob Santos, a great trainer. But yeah, I think Mario Barrios definitely has enough to beat Ryan Garcia. But if he doesn't, you won't hear me defend Mario Barrios as when people say that he's the worst champion in boxing. You won't hear me defend him anymore because that'd be crazy. You know what I'm saying? Tufo in the building. What up, folk? My brother Tufo in the building. Shout out to Thomas Hill in the building. George the Last Dragonborn says, also, Haney is the first undisputed champion in the 4-belt era, no matter how much the media wants to push Lomachenko as being so. Talk to him, George. That's a fact. Let me read that again. My brother preaching, man. Everybody face forward in your pews. We have Pastor George the Last Dragonborn approaching the pulpit. He said, also, Haney is the first undisputed champ in the 4-belt era. No matter how much the media wants to push Lomachenko as being so.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Drop a bomb on him like that. I'm talking about nuclear-sized bomb. An atom bomb. They don't even want to know about that, man. They don't want to hear you, bro. I hear you, though. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Smoochie. Smoochie says, Yard providing all the losses is hilarious. Yeah. Yard provided all the losses between 8 fighters. That's crazy, Smoochie. So, Abdullah Mason, Sam Noakes, both undefeated. Brian Norman, Devin Haney, both undefeated. Bam Rodriguez, Puma Martinez, both undefeated. Benavidez and Yard. 8 fighters. 3 losses between the 8 fighters, and they all come from Anthony Yard. That's a damn shame. They didn't have to say that, bro. They did my dog dirty. Lions in the comp. Lions in the comp. Shout out to Set from Pet, man. What's good, bro? Set from Pet in the building. Yeah, bro. They Lions in the comp. Now they did them dirty. They ain't have to do them like that. They ain't have to do them like that. You know what I'm saying? On another note, though. Yeah, feel me? For your listening pleasure, we are now on Spotify under Dr. Boxing Talk. The same thing on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, everything. Dr. Boxing Talk, man. Come rock with us. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? On Spotify, we have updated the schedule. Before, I was dropping new episodes on Tuesday at 5:30 a.m. Now we're dropping it on Tuesday and Thursday at 5:30 a.m. So we doubled the weekly intake for you on the Spotify, man. So anytime you're traveling for your listening pleasure, you just want to hit the audio of you running and you listen to Spotify, exercising, traveling, driving, whatever you're doing, commuting to work. You know what I'm saying? We on that Spotify, man. So check us out there as well, man. We going and growing. And don't forget to, when you follow me on Spotify, don't forget to smack that 5 stars. You know what I'm talking about? That helps us, man. That helps, and that's free support. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all the members that support monetarily. Shout out to the patrons on Patreon as well. Shout out to any capacity people contribute. You know what I'm saying? Especially the ones that break bread with me. You know what I'm saying? It keeps us going and growing for real. But if you don't have it, that's cool, man. Times is hard. Hit the like button. Share the video. Share all the videos. Like the videos. It's easy. Don't forget to smack that like button right now as we speak. You feel me? Shout out to Boxer with 2-4. He said it's low-key weird. Joseph Parker popped on a voluntary random drug test before the fight when it should have been mandatory. Come on now. And somebody, hey, you know what's crazy about that 2-4? Somebody told me that we don't know if he tested positive yet, which I agree. It's an A sample. You know, the B, it's rare. It's a rarity that the B sample comes back different, but it could, right? The A sample could go positive. The B sample could be negative in rare cases, but somebody told me, I'm like how you emphasize voluntary and mandatory. This guy said that, oh, why would he volunteer for a test if he knew he was going to fail it?
You dumbass.
Like, how do y'all think boxing tests work? They don't jump you in the back alley and hold you down and administer an involuntary test. So whenever somebody tests positive, it's because they volunteered for the testing, dummy. A lot of people, they cheat because they think that they could circumvent the test. They think that they could get over on the test. They think that they could bypass the test by masking whatever they're doing with like some masking agents with a diuretic or something like that. They don't get caught because they didn't know they were getting tested, you freaking idiot. Sometimes they do, but the majority of fights, sometimes you have fights that have no testing, but the majority of fights, you have to have testing. And if you don't have testing, usually what happens, not all the time, but usually the fight is called off unless one of the opponents agrees, like we saw with one of David Morrell's opponents and one of I can't remember his name right now. He fought him in the Minnesota Armory against David Morrell. He complained about it later. And then even with Tevin Farmer, he complained about Williams Zepeda not getting the third installment of the test or something like that in a timely fashion. You see what I'm saying? But they sign a contract to agree to testing. People they sound so dumb. Just because you volunteered for a test doesn't mean you weren't cheating. You think Ryan Garcia didn't know he was going to get tested? He just thought that he could outsmart it. Stupid. Like, I don't know. Like, what do people be? I don't be knowing what people be thinking, bro. Like, I don't know what kind of boxer I mean, I guess they don't. Like I said, we already know they don't watch boxer. They just watch with their favorite fighter that they want to impregnate them fights. That's it. And that's okay. Any capacity that you like boxing, whether you're a purist or a casual or somewhere in between, it doesn't matter to me. But why would you be ignorant to something, oblivious to something, and then act like you know what's going on? Shout out to Sent from Pet. Yep, Sina Agbeko as well was another one that complained as well. Yeah, shout out to you, Sina Agbeko. He had 2 fighters that complained. Sina Agbeko. I wasn't talking about Sina Agbeko though. I'm talking about an American fighter. But yeah, I forgot about Sina Agbeko. He also complained about David Morrell. But there was another one. I can't remember his name, bro. He just fought too, and he just lost. I can't remember his name, man. I'm gonna tell you right now because now it's gonna bother me. David Morrell, he fought him in the Minnesota Armory as well. I'm not saying David Morrell's a dirty fighter either. Now, I'm just saying that he's been accused of going past tests. That's all. Calvin Henderson. That's what I'm talking about right here. He accused David Morrell when they fought in the Minnesota Armory or something. Yeah, Minneapolis Armory. Come on, man. Bro, I really watch boxing, bro. Come on, man. Stop playing with me, man. The Armory in Minneapolis, he accused when he fought David Morrell of not getting tested. You see what I'm saying? Bro, I'm too good at this, bro. I'm too good. I'm too cold. Let me stop. Shout out to justdraw.com. I like that, man. You an artist, bro? Shout out to you, man. Keep up your artistry, man. That's fire. That's fire. He said, facts. PEDs has gotten to a point where these dudes are basking it anyway. Right, Just Draw. And I can say, oh, shout out to my brother Ty. Hot up, it's my boy Ty in the building, man. Bodega Ty in the building, aka DBT. Square Up Champ in the building, aka Mr. I ain't gonna eat no IHOP in the building, Mr. aka gosh dang, what's your other one? Ty Morris said in the building, aka República de Dominica and Bodega in the building. Shout out to my brother Ty Morissette, man. My boy in the building, man. We got my brother Unity with the pinky ring, you know what I'm saying? In the building, man. Shout out to my brother Kendrick KD in the building. Yes, sir. And that's the thing, though. You know, I don't even like to say stuff like that, but you are right, .com. I don't like to say stuff like people have masking agents anyway, because then that kind of desensitizes us to cheating, right? And I don't think we should ever be desensitized to cheating. I don't think that we should minimize it either and just be like, oh, yeah, well, I'm not saying you're saying this. I'm not accusing you of saying this. I'm just saying that sometimes when we say, oh, yeah, everybody's cheating, that just kind of dumbs down the significance of and the importance of finding people that cheat. You see what I'm saying? It's very imperative to the livelihood of the fighters that participate in the sport and the overall livelihood and purity and integrity of the sport itself. You know, we should never just disregard cheaters as, oh, well, everybody's doing it. Nah, I'm not going to believe that. There might be a lot more people doing it than we anticipate. I agree with that part, but I don't think everybody's doing it. I don't think Terrence Crawford's cheating. I don't think Usyk's cheating. I don't think Devin Haney's cheating. I don't think any fighter that has it been popped dirty is cheating. You know what I'm saying? And I will say this as well, but I want them to keep getting tested. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes you do cheat on accident. Like we saw the my boy Cinnamon, you know what I'm talking about? The face of boxing. I saw Will Canelo Alvarez, right? He tested positive, but he never tested positive during a fight. He tested positive for clenbuterol during training camp. Say with Alicia Bumgarner, right? They never, in fact, their fights, their tests for the actual fight that they had after having suspicious and questionable testing, right? They came back negative. They did not cheat anybody in the ring. So I'm not saying that you have to believe Alicia Bumgarner or you have to believe Canelo, but to compare them to something that Ryan Garcia did, I feel like is disingenuous. Or Francisco Rodriguez, or even what Jaime Munguia was accused of, or Jarrell Baby Miller, or Conor Benn, they tested positive for having a substance in their system during the night of the fight. And not to mention Alicia Bumgarner and Canelo, like I said, they took it to court and proved that it was accidental. They had their story, they stuck to it, they stood on business, took it, went to court through the judicial system, and were proving that they did it accidentally. They were never proven they didn't have it in their system, but they were proving that it was accidental consumption. So I do give people a chance. Nobody's perfect. You see what I'm saying? And so, but at the same time, I don't want to say, oh yeah, everybody's doing it, because then we gonna turn boxing into the enhanced games. You know what I'm saying? The performance enhancing drug games, and I don't want that to happen. You feel me? So I don't want to say that, you know, a lot of people doing it. And plus, look at Oscar Valdez, right? He had the tummy tea. Tried to use the diuretic as a masking agent, and you get caught with that too. That doesn't mean that people don't get by on the test, right? We just had Imam Katayev. He just had a fight with David Morrell, and he was actually banned. Was it a, I don't remember if it's an indefinite ban or was 2 years or something. He's banned for a certain period of time. I don't remember what it was. If it was an indefinite ban, like he's still banned now, or was it a 2-year time span? But anyway, he was banned from the IBA, right? Was it the International Boxing Association or administration, whatever the A stands for. But anyway, mostly a lot of amateur fights happened in the IBA, but there's some professional fights happened there too. But anyway, he tested positive for a banned substance there too, and he was banned, and then he got to fight David Morrell. You see what I'm saying? It's like people don't care. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, bro. But shout out to Just Draw. He said, yeah, I understand what you said, but yeah, once I see a positive test, I can't look at you and say, I'm not mad at that. I'm not, and I think that we should all, that's why I always make it my business to mention it, bro. It's not because I have some vendetta against fighters that test positive, but I think it's important because, like with Conor Benn, I ain't gonna lie, shout out to him. I'm not a big Conor Benn fan. I'm not a big Chris Eubank Jr. fan, but I was rooting for Chris Eubank and partially because Conor Ben popped dirty, right? But I'm sorry, I have to wait until I hear those test results come back before I fully congratulate Conor Ben on his victory. And it should be like that because you tested positive before. You compromised yourself before. So I am curious to see if you actually were clean when you fought Chris Eubank Jr. I think we should. You know what I'm saying? So, and hopefully Mario Barrios dots his I's and crosses his T's with Ryan Garcia. If he doesn't, he's a dummy. Hopefully he does. But I think everybody should. I'm not saying that you have to be enrolled in 365, 24-hour testing in VADA like somebody like Devin Haney. You don't have to do that, but you should always be open, in my personal opinion, to testing. Because why wouldn't you want to ensure that your opponent's not on anything? And a way to do that effectively is to also subjectify, if you want to say, that's kind of has a negative connotation, but volunteer, I guess, to allow yourself to be tested as well, subjectify your testing to as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why wouldn't you want to ensure that you're on an even playing field, that neither one of you are cheating? I don't see why not. The only reason why you wouldn't want to is if, you're probably cheating your gosh dang self. I'm talking about. Shout out to my brother Oscar Perez, mi hermano carnal en el edificio. My brother in the building, man. My partner in crime, PIC, Oscar Perez in the building. Yes, sir. We got my brother Joaquin in the building. Let's go, man. We got a good crew with us today. Don't forget to smack that like button, man. If you can't find the thumbs up, find it. Find it and smack it. Smack it like you owe you some money. Smack it like Caleb Plant did Jamal Charlo. You know what I'm talking about? Smack it like Akon and Eminem. You know what I'm talking about? Smack that like button. Call your auntie, tell her smack it too. Yeah, we have to get to the yoke things. That's crazy. We have to get to the yoke things. Is crazy. I see what you did there.
What do you mean by that?
I see what you did there. Shout out to Conor Ben with them egg yolks and them egg whites and all them things. You know what I'm saying? Scrambled eggs, fried eggs, boiled eggs, egg yolks, egg whites. He needs to just stay away from all eggs. He shouldn't handle. Does he have like a farm or something? Isn't this man audacious enough to have like a duck farm or something like that? I was watching like the build up to Conor Ben and his fight with Chris Eubank. I believe him and his wife were discussing about a duck farm that they have or something like that, or some pigeon farm. You shouldn't have nothing to do with any animal that has any type of inclusion in egg distribution. You shouldn't even be able to buy no eggs. You shouldn't be able to eat any egg byproducts. You shouldn't be able to eat ice creams. Nothing involved with eggs, bro. You shouldn't even eat breakfast, bro. Skip breakfast, bro. Your first meal should be lunch. Not even brunch. That's too close to breakfast. Just have lunch, bro. Lunch and dinner. You can't even have breakfast, bro. You can't have an egg McMuffin, an egg salad, nothing, bro. He talking about he got like a duck farm or something. The audacity. That's how lightly we take it, bro. You gonna blame your PEDs on eggs and mess around and have an egg farm. Come on, man. Sorry, let me a duck farm or some type of pigeons. I don't know what he got. Some type of bird farm he got. I said, bro, what we doing, man? What we doing, man? This is crazy, bro. This is crazy, bro. Shout out to Twofold, but it said PBC ain't going for that BS. Ty says McGee ass dirty. His B-side said inconclusivity is not negativity. That's a fact. So it said inconclusive, not negative. I agree with you 1,000%, Ty. And I like Jaime Munguia. Y'all used to drag me for liking Jaime Munguia because I like fighters that are exciting, man. Jaime Munguia is exciting. He blocks with his face. Either he gonna win or you gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? Somebody going. So he's definitely won the fight. So I like him. I like him. You don't have to be the best for me to like you, bro. Like I said, I like him. I like Mario Barrios. I like Liam Paro. I like Brian Norman, Tang. I like Juno Nakatani, Cinnamon, Bud. You know what I'm saying? Like so. Caleb Plant. I like a lot of fighters. You don't have to be undefeated for me to like you. But at the same time, I'm not gonna cap for you either. Jaime Munguia, I don't know, bro. It just doesn't sit right with me, bro. I don't trust it, man. I think it might have been a cover up more so than a mistake. I don't think it was a mistake that he tested positive. I think it's more of a cover up, man, retroactively, in my personal opinion. But I don't really have time to go into conspiracy theories and think about it all day. I ain't got nobody to talk to, so that's on the inside like that to confirm or deny. So I just go with whatever they say. They say it's cool. It's cool. You feel me? And it is what it is, man. So I definitely think Bruno Soares deserves to get that white clean. Was that ever a no? That was called a no contest, right? I believe it was called a no contest for Bruno Soares. So if he wants to get it back, it's up to him. If he doesn't want to run it back, it's up to him. I don't know. Was it ever? No, it wasn't wiped clean, right? It wasn't wiped clean because it was, like you said, it was inconclusive. I don't think they took the L away. Hold on, let's look it up, chat. I don't think they ever took the L away for Bruno Saras. Poor Bruno. Poor Bruno. I think he still has an L, chat. Yep, he still got the L. It's that nonsense I be talking about, bro. Inconclusive means you don't get a no contest, buddy. That's crazy, bro. I don't blame him for not fighting Jaime McGee again, but I think he should, you know. But if he doesn't want to, I don't blame him, man. That's crazy, bro. I forgot. Yeah. He got the L. Now you talk about some BS. Bullshit. So sad. So sad. So sad. But yeah, man. So I back to what I was saying. I know we talking about a lot of stuff, man. Shout out to y'all. I'm gonna open up the phone lines in a minute, but yeah, so basically what I wanted to talk about, man. I think that Brian Norman and Devin Haney, I think people are sleeping on the importance and the magnitude of this fight, man, because I think that the fight, and you know I like Gervonta Tank Davis, man. Let me spam my GTD chain. You feel me? Spam. Hey, consider becoming a member as well, man. You get access to all these fire dope emotes. You know what I'm talking about? Consider becoming a member, man. We have the best emotes for our boxing channel on YouTube. You see what I'm saying? So consider getting those emotes, man. You feel me? We got Devin Haney and Bill Haney. I think that this fight has the most on the line from a career standpoint, because I think if Devin Haney loses, I'm not gonna say it's over, because if you know, he has a 3-fight deal with Turkey Al-Sheikh, right? So he's still gonna be relevant. But I think it's going to be harder for him to bounce back. You know, I think Brian Norman's a little easier for him to bounce back. And in fact, I maintain that if Sam Noakes loses, he could bounce back. If Abdullah Mason loses, because he's American, it's going to be a little harder, but he can bounce back as well. I think that guys that take losses on this card, that's easiest for them to bounce back will be Sam Noakes and Anthony Yarde, because they're from the UK and they're big on boxing. They don't care if people lose, right? I think Puma Martinez is probably the next one that'd be easy for him to bounce back. But I think the hardest will be for the Americans, like Bam Rodriguez, especially Abdullah Mason, but especially Devin Haney, Brian Norman, because Americans, especially when you're Black American, they don't like when you're not undefeated. When you lose that aura of invincibility, they throw you in the trash, no matter who you fought. So even David Benavidez, I think it'll be hard for him to bounce back as well, but I think it'll be a little bit easier, for him, relative to the other Americans. David Benavidez, Bam Rodriguez, Abdullah Mason, and Brian Norman, and Devin Haney. I think Devin Haney will be the hardest one to bounce back. So I think that this fight is very important because, I think that the winner of this fight, especially, this is where I'm going to flip it on you, especially if it's Brian Norman, man, I like Tank, but considering the circumstances right now where Tank just lost his fight with Jake Paul, like lost as far as it's not coming into fruition, not lost like he took an L, but lost because it didn't happen, right? I think that with him talking about retirement and not knowing if he's going to commit to boxing and be involved, American boxing, this fight could determine who's the face of American boxing. Now, I know you got Virgil Ortiz up there too, but a lot of people, which is, it depends on what you think of nationality, whatever you think is more important, nationality or heritage. I kind of lean towards not important, but when it comes to considering the fighters American, right? I know Benavidez is Mexican, Ecuadorian, and American, right? I consider him American because he was born in America. So for me, if you're born in America, you represent America. So even Ryan Garcia, I don't consider him, even though he's Mexican American, I don't consider him a Mexican fighter. I consider him an American fighter. So same with Devin Haney, I consider him an American fighter. Deontay Wilder has Nigerian roots, right? He's Nigerian American, but I consider him an American fighter. So it doesn't really matter about your complexion, Caleb Plant, I think he has like somewhere he's a European American, he has Irish roots or something like that, I don't remember, but he's also an American. So I consider, if you're born in America, I consider you an American boxer. So but Virgil Ortiz is seen as a Mexican fighter as well. So is David Benavidez, a Mexican fighter, same as so I think that because of that, it's going to be easier for them to bounce back than it would for like a Devin Haney or an Abdullah Mason or something like that. But however, with that being said, I think that if Brian Norman wins, man, I think that because of his personality, his charisma, I think he might be up there as a next American boxing star, man. Not necessarily to replace Gervonta, but to kind of be up there with him. I think it will catapult him significantly, right? I think he'll be in the mix as far as American fighters go, as far as like David Benavidez, Virgil Ortiz. I'm not saying he'll reach their plateau, but I think he'll be on that trajectory. You see what I'm saying? Now, Devin Haney, you would think that Devin Haney winning, as we discussed his past, right? His past and former accolades that he's achieved, like youngest undisputed in the 4-belt era on the male side, like being a multi-division champion and lightweight, super lightweight, and maybe welterweight if he wins, right? You would think it would be him, but let's face it, I don't think people will suddenly like him if he beats Brian Norman. You know, I'm gonna be honest too. I think a lot of people are saying, like, a lot of people, you got to know their psyche, right? A lot of people will say, oh, he needs to beat Ryan Garcia. Why? Ryan Garcia cheated him. So if he does beat Ryan Garcia, the only way people will, first of all, I don't think there's any way that people will forget about what happened with Ryan Garcia. I think they're just saying that. So with that being said, the point that I'm emphasizing is that I don't think there's anything that he could do to be embraced from a loving standpoint from the American audience as a whole. Some of us will like him, but the majority won't. There's nothing that he could do. Even if he goes to beat Brian Norman and he goes to beat Ryan Garcia, he would have to knock out Ryan Garcia in 2 rounds. And even if he does that, people gonna say, oh yeah, well, we still haven't forgotten what Ryan Garcia did to you. You see what I'm saying? People just use things to try to move the goalposts and mask their hate. You know what I'm saying? They want to masquerade like they're not haters, like they're speaking facts. No, you're a hater, bro. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney, he's the one that's proven, he's the one that's accomplished. There's nothing about his career that is dependent on the outcome of a fight with a cheater, drug abuser, racist, habitually overweight, weight bully, and Ryan Garcia. There's nothing. Now, if you want to say that he has to go on and be undisputed at 147 or achieve something else, that's cool. But your future can't be contingent on somebody else who hasn't even accomplished anything in their own career. You see what I'm saying? So I just think people are just use that as an excuse as to why they dislike Devin Haney. But I do think that if Brian Norman wins, man, I think Brian Norman will be catapulted up there. I think if Devin Haney wins, I think that you'll have to respect him. You know what I'm saying? I think like the commentators and stuff like that will put a little bit more respect to his name, but they'll still hold the Ryan Garcia over him. But still, you know, this will be a step in the right direction to get back in the good graces of a lot of folks if he beats Brian Norman. But like I said, I don't think he's going to win, but it's going to be a good fight, you know. I'm going with Brian Norman, though. But Devin Haney, it's going to be a good fight, man. Put respect on both of them, man. Put respect on Devin Haney and Brian Norman for having this fight. Put respect on all the fighters for taking these fights. You see what I'm saying? I did think it was funny, Brian Norman Sr. and Bill Haney's back and forth, though. It was a little long-winded. Bill Haney was a little too loquacious. You know what I'm saying? He was a little bit, you know, somebody should have cut his monologue about 30 minutes short. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it wasn't that long, but it was kind of lengthy. But, you know, it's always entertaining to see Bill Haney and Brian Norman, man. You got to respect those fathers, man. Like, I know sometimes it's hard to embrace them, especially if you don't like them. I'm not saying you got to like Devin Haney, but dislike him for the right reasons. Dislike him because he's not entertaining, okay. Dislike him because you don't like his personality or something, but to dislike him like he's just some poo-putter, he's trash, or because he's a victim. I don't want to call him a victim, but he was victimized by a cheater. That's crazy. It's like not liking Chris Algieri because Conor Ben knocked him out while he cheated. That's crazy, right? It's like not liking Galal Yafai because Francisco Rodriguez beat him up while he was cheating. That's crazy, right? It's like not liking Miguel Cotto because Margarito punched on him while he was cheating. That's crazy, right? So I don't understand that type of energy but like Bill Haney could be annoying. If you don't like him because of his personality, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's different. But it's like Floyd Mayweather. If you don't like Floyd Mayweather because of his personality, that's cool. But don't dislike him because he's winning. That's crazy. You see what I'm saying? Like he's fighting guys like Oscar De La Hoya, Manny Pacquiao, Zab Judah, Sugar Shea Mosley, Diego Corrales, the late great Diego Corrales, the late great Ricky Hatton. You feel me? They're fighting people, man. Castillo, Maidana. I can keep going. You feel me? Chop Corley, Emmanuel Augustus. You feel me? So yeah, I just think that shout out to Bill Haney. I do think they're funny though. I personally think that Bill Haney's a good Bill Haney and Devin Haney are a good father-son duo. I also think Brian Norman Sr. and Brian Norman Jr. are a good father-son duo. I also think Jose Benavidez Sr. and David Benavidez are a great father-son duo. I thought Kenny Porter and Sean Porter is a great father-son duo. The only one that I don't think are good father-son duos, of course, Shingo Inoue, Naya Inoue, and Takuma Inoue, and their cousin Koki Inoue. Those are great father-son duos and uncle. Speaking of uncle and father, and uncles, Floyd Mayweather and Floyd Mayweather Sr. and Roger Mayweather, rest in peace, and Jeff Mayweather. That's a great example again. But to me, the only bad examples are Teofimo Lopez Sr. and Teofimo Lopez Jr. and then Floyd Schofield and Floyd Schofield Jr. Those are the only two bad examples. Because to me, Teofimo Sr. and Schofield, what they call Auntie Sco, they say like you know, like Teofimo Sr. said some racist stuff. So has Schofield Sr. said some crazy stuff. Then he had that little DV case too, where he's caught on camera like mistreating that woman, and then he making up stuff like Shakur Stevenson tried to sabotage the fight by conjuring up a plan with his masseuse to wipe cream on your face. What? Wiping cream on your face? That's so not gangster.
What?
Why would you even say that somebody wiped cream on your face? But yeah, it's like, to me, I think it's over exaggerated how bad Bill Haney is for Devin. I think he's actually good. Now, sometimes does his mouth write checks that Devin Haney can't cash? Maybe, but it's usually in the realm of boxing. You see what I'm saying? So once you're in the scope of boxing, I think it's good. You talking trash on behalf of your son, I think it's good. But once you start getting into other stuff, you know, like Teofimo Lopez Sr., when you say things like, oh yeah, my son doesn't need a jab, and then you proceed to fight Jermaine Ortiz, and it looks like you could have used the jab and you didn't know how to cut off a ring. I mean, then you just seem kind of crazy. And when you get jumped as a grown man because you're calling people racial slurs, like Teofimo Lopez Sr., you get jumped in the gym. And I think those are bad examples for a father-son relationship. But I think I kind of have a difference of opinion than most. I know a lot of people say, oh, the father-son duos are bad. I kind of disagree, man. I think a lot of them are pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Angel Garcia and Danny Garcia is another good one. You see what I'm saying? John Fury and Tyson Fury? The Gypsy King of Obesity? I don't know. His daddy might be a little crazy. You can't be out there fighting. So he might be toxic too. I ain't gonna lie. He might have some little bit of toxicity too, because he was out there fighting. Didn't he like slap one of Usyk's entourage? I think he like slapped one of Usyk's entourage, right? Yeah, bro. Yeah, he wild. So I like John Fury. Don't get me wrong. I like Tyson Fury. He's one of my favorite fighters because I don't mind you being braggadocious if you could back it up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mind. He doesn't really bother me. But I don't like the fact that he's another one that tested positive. He was on that Booger Sugar too. And remember, him and Joseph Parker are friends. So they might have been, you know what I'm talking about? Joseph Parker all this whole time. He might have been there, the plug for Tyson Fury. He might have been Tyson Fury's plug, man, out there slinging that gosh dang cocaine and meth. You know he was in trouble for the meth too. Yeah, in 2019, he was involved in a international drug meth ring, Joseph Parker. So this is not his first run-in with the barbiturates. You know what I'm talking about? And the gosh dang substances. So the Guerreros are cool too. Yeah, oh yeah. Robert Ghost Guerrero, shout out to, man, didn't I don't want to put death on anybody, but I don't want to say it because I could be wrong. But didn't I'm gonna just say it. Didn't Robert Guerrero's father, didn't something happen to his father? I don't want to say death if that's not true, but I think so, man. Not too long ago. I think earlier, let me see. I think he had lost a battle with cancer, man. I think so. Don't quote me though. I don't want to say that and that's not true. Hopefully I'm wrong, so I don't want to say that and that's not true. I could be confusing him with somebody else. Hopefully I'm wrong. But yeah, the Guerreros, yeah, there's a lot of dope father-son trainers. So I think that's grossly exaggerated. Yeah, don't let me say that, Joaquin, because I don't want to be wrong. I could be confusing with somebody else. I could be confusing with somebody. You know what? I think I am. Leo Santa Cruz's father just passed away. I think that's who I'm confusing it with. I think Leo Santa Cruz's father. Let me look it up. I don't want to say that because I don't want to be. I think it's Leo Santa Cruz's father passed. Yeah, Leo Santa Cruz's father passed away. He passed away from a battle with cancer. I was confusing him with Robert Guerrero Sr. So yeah, I was wrong. But yeah, man. So I definitely don't want to kill anybody. I don't want nobody killing me before my time. You know what I'm saying? So God forbid that. God rebuke that. But yeah, man. So Southwest Dice said Bill is a dad, promoter, manager. It's called promotion for his son. I agree, Southwest Dice. I agree, man. Salute to you, my brother. Salute to you. Yeah, I think that people exaggerate. Like, bro, like you got to understand a lot of these guys are independent, you know? So they like, you know, Verge Ortiz and Verge Ortiz Sr., that's a good duo too. Bozy and Boots Ennis, you feel me? But like Verge Ortiz, he has Oscar De La Hoya who's gonna talk for him. Boots has Eddie Hearn that's gonna talk for him. Tank has Leonard Ellerby who was gonna talk for him, right? A lot of these fighters, Anthony Joshua has Eddie Hearn, you know, Gervonta, I already said that, has Leonard Ellerby. A lot of these fighters have people that will speak on their behalf and be loud for them. Bill Haney, like my brother Southwest already said, right? He wears all those hats. So that's what he's doing. And people just see it as, oh, him being a loud, braggadocious father. I feel like that's a very limited and almost disrespectful way and dismissive way to look at his role. No, Bill Haney, for better or for worse, his gift of gab is what gets people talking about Devin Haney and paying attention to his son. Because we already admit, right, Devin Haney's not the most exciting fighter to watch, right? So for better or for worse, whether you're watching to see him lose or you're watching to see him win, you're watching. So that's good. And a big reason for that is because of Bill Haney. You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes people kind of forget that. Same with Danny Garcia. The same dynamic for Angel Garcia and Danny Garcia. Angel Garcia used to talk his behind off. Remember, he got in trouble for saying a couple things. Yeah, you know, particularly towards Amir Khan and stuff. But yeah, so we gotta realize that sometimes that their pops plays all those roles. You know. Yeah, man, shout out to Leo Santa Cruz. That's actually one of my favorite fighters. Funny story. I didn't become a Gervonta Tank Davis supporter until he beat Leo Santa Cruz. I was actually rooting for Leo Santa Cruz in that fight because I like Leo Santa Cruz a lot, man. I think he's a future Hall of Famer too. But yeah, man, the phone lines are open. If anybody wants to call in, you could do so now. Yes, sir. Let's get it popping, man. Just Draw says, man, Abdullah about to destroy this guy. I'm not even sure Sam even the power puncher in this fight. That's a good point. I think because we know Sam Noakes has power, we assume that he has more power than everybody else, or he's a power puncher in this fight. I said this before too. I'm not sure. I think he's a big puncher. Don't get it twisted, because you can't have a high knockout ratio without being somewhat of a big puncher. I'm not dismissive of his power, but is it over exaggerated? It could be, right? For example, who's another guy that we saw who was on the phenomenal, superb, amazing, wonderful streak of 16 KOs in 16 rounds of boxing? You remember who it was? Oh, you don't remember? Don't worry, I got you. Right, it was Edgar Berlanga. Edgar Berlanga had 16 wins and 16 first-round KOs. His 17th professional fight was his 17th round of boxing, right? Is Edgar Berlanga the big power puncher that everybody thought he was? No. Why do we know that? He's a big puncher, don't get me wrong, but it's not a coincidence that when his level of opposition increased, his frequency of KOs decreased. In fact, it stopped. You know what I'm saying? So I think you're absolutely right. I think Sam Noakes' power or perceived power could maybe be more indicative of his level of opposition or lackluster opponents than it is more indicative of him actually having world level power. We'll see though, because I think it's a great fight, man. They're both undefeated. They're both young. Abdullah Mace is much younger. I think he's 21. I think Sam Noakes is 27, something like that. So it's still young enough, but we'll see, man. We'll see, man. I have Abdullah Mason, but I have Abdullah Mason winning by decision. We'll see, man. Yes, press the like. Shout out to my brother Pat Bandero in the building. Bumlanga, exactly, Joaquin. You know exactly where I was going. Shout out to my brother Pat Bandero. Shout out to my brother Average Someone in the building. Big members in the building, man. You like those shout outs that they get upon entrance? I become that member, man. That's how you get them shout outs, man. But also too, I want to say, what was I going to say? I was going to follow up with something. But yeah, oh yeah, so but we do know, you know, and this is what kind of annoys me too. It's something that we have to acknowledge, right? Abdullah Mason did get dropped, right? And that's cool. He got dropped by a big puncher in Johan Vasquez? I believe it was Johan Vasquez. But he recovered and he beat Vasquez by stoppage. But I feel like people make it seem like I think people talk about that more in a negative light than a positive light. And I think it should be talked about in kind of both. But that's not what bothers me. What bothers me is the inconsistency. Because when we talk about Naoya Inoue, for example, getting dropped by Louis Neary by a left hand. Remember, we tell Devin Haney to block the left hands. Remember that? We do that, right? And he should. He should block the left hands, especially the left hook. But you know somebody else who doesn't block left hooks all the time? Naoya Inoue, right? He got dropped by Louis Neary by a left hook. He got dropped by Ramon Cardenas by a left hook. But everybody celebrates the fact that he recovered and stopped those guys. So it's like a positive. And I think it does. I think it is a positive because it shows that you are resilient. It shows that you have mental fortitude to keep your composure. And it shows that you about that life, about that action, because you get back up and you go and approach the guy and embrace him instead of running and shelling up. You approach him and you learn from your mistake and you win and you stop the guy. But we congratulate him for that. But whenever we talk about Abdullah Mason, we say, oh, his chin might be suspect. So is Naya Inoue. I never heard anybody say Naya Inoue's chin might be suspect. And that's that, but I will say there's a good way to talk about it and there's a negative way to talk about it. I think it's good to talk about their resiliency, their cojones to keep going and take a hit, the fact that they have a fighter's spirit. But I also think that if you're going to consider that, then consider it for everybody. And I do consider it. And that's why I got Juto Nakatani beating Naya Inoue. But I don't think that's negative because I think he's a great fighter. Juto Nakatani is one of my favorite fighters. Naya Inoue is one of my favorite fighters too. I like him a lot too. People don't think so. It's just because I'm critical and complimentary across the board, right? So I have to acknowledge that Ramon Cardenas is a subpar fighter, right? I mean, for God's sakes, he was a Lyft driver, literally. You know when they say, oh, you're fighting bums and Uber drivers and tomato cans? Ramon Cardenas was literally a Lyft driver. There's no hyperbole there. I'm not speaking. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not just talking out the side of my neck. He was literally a Lyft driver. These are facts. Look it up. And he got dropped by him. And Ramon Cardenas is so neophyte to the game that after he dropped Inoue, he kept spamming left hooks like it was a video game, like he was playing Tekken. You know what I'm saying? And of course, Naya Inoue being the superb, phenomenal fighter that he is, top 3 pound for pound, he caught wind of that and he started timing him and he beat him and showed him that there's levels. But what I'm saying is that unless you're going to specifically tell me what Sam Noakes has that's similar to Johan Vasquez, then I don't want to hear you say, oh, Abdullah Mason might lose because he's been dropped before. That's such lazy analysis, bro. That's such ignorant and surface level analysis. It's crazy. It's mind blowing that these are coming from boxing purists and experts. Yes, he got dropped before, but tell me what Sam Noakes has that's similar to what Johan Vasquez has. You don't. You just tell me that he got dropped. But when I tell you that I'm picking Juto Nakatani to beat Naya Inoue is because Naya Inoue got dropped. Yes, but he got dropped with what? He got dropped with a left hand. By not just one guy, but two guys. Two guys that I think Juto Nakatani would beat the hell out of. And Juto Nakatani is a guy that has a devastating left hand. That's why I think that he could beat Naya Inoue. I don't just think so because, oh, he got knocked down and Juto Nakatani has two hands and he can knock him down too. No, but that's the type of lazy, gosh dang, if you want to call it journalism or whatever, or boxing coverage that these people do. If you watch the press conference today, he said, oh, yeah, people say you have a questionable chin. What was that? I don't even remember that dude's name. I shouldn't remember his name anyway. He doesn't deserve for me to remember his name. But I think Todd Grisham, whatever his name is. Gosh dang, he's sucking meat to the bone, Gristle. Gosh dang, whatever his name is. Abdullah Mason. Yeah. People are worried about your chin because you got dropped before. He didn't even say by who. I don't even think he knows who dropped him. You got dropped before. So people are worried that you might get dropped again. That's the depth of your analysis, bro. He got dropped before, so he might get dropped again. You can say that about any boxer. Like, and then he proceeds to say, "Oh yeah, Devin Haney, it's the same person, right?" He said, "Oh, Devin Haney, he got dropped before, went through that Mariah Garcia." Yeah, but you forgot about the PED part. Like that's important. You know what I'm saying? Joseph Parker lost to Fabio Worley. Now he tested positive for cocaine. I'm always gonna mention that. Because I think we should. Because we shouldn't forget that people should be clean fighters. That we should encourage that. And we should discourage cheating. But anyway, that's just me though. Anyway, shout out to Pat Bandera. You feel me though? You feel me, Pat? It's crazy, bro. Shout out to Just Draw. He said facts. Facts. Criticize anything Inoue does. They bring about black people ASAP. Come on now. It's bad when the commentators brought up the Uber. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, bro. And I like Ramon Cardenas. Don't get me wrong. I like him. And I like Naya Inoue. Inoue is a beast. Like I said, I think he's top 3 pound for pound. Obviously, I don't think you can have anybody else besides Inoue, Usyk, and Bud. Whatever order is acceptable. I personally have Bud because Bud is the 3-time undisputed. You know what I'm saying? He was the first undisputed in 2 divisions in the male side. Because once again, 1 time for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Clarissa Shields. She was the first to ever do it. So 1 time for the ladies, but Budrick was the first to do it 2 times. And then who did it after him? Inoue and Usyk. So shout out to them. And then, and then Bud did it again 3 times now against when he beat Cinnamon. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Saul Canelo Alvarez, aka Cinnamon. I think that for me, he's number 1. But if someone has Usyk or Inoue, I'm not mad. Because I think, like I said, Inoue is a beast, bro. He's undefeated, fought so many champions. But I am very honest too. Like, when people say that, oh, this person hasn't fought anybody, I think number one, he fights in small division, so it's hard for a lot of people don't really keep up with the lower divisions. I'm in the minority in that. I do. But my point is that a lot of people don't know the fighters that he fights, and I don't like when people act like all of his fights recently have been good. They haven't. You know what I'm saying? TJ Doheny wasn't a good opponent. Ramon Cardenas wasn't. Yi Jun Kim was a late replacement, but that wasn't a good opponent. But MJ Ahmadaliev, that was a great opponent. That was a great opponent, and he smoked him. You see what I'm saying? So I like to give credit where credit is due. You know, I will critique Canelo Alvarez, who's my favorite fighter. I would say, hey, Edgar Berlanga, that wasn't the best fight, but he was at least ranked number 1 by the WBA, so it was justified. You can't really justify Cardenas and Yi Jun Kim and TJ Doheny. You know what I'm saying? So that is what it is. But he's good. Like, he beat Stephen Fulton. That was a great win. You know what I'm saying? That's recent. He beat MJ Ahmadaliev, another great win. Marlon Tapales, another great win. You see, Nonito Donaire was older, but he's still a legend. Shout out to the Filipino Flash. You know, I had the pleasure of interviewing him. Go check it out. But yeah, man. So I just like to call things evenly. You know, a lot of people, it's real easy. It's real easy to be consistent, man. That's all. That's all. He said cab drivers must have talked a lot of shit at one time. They be in some fights. They be in some fights, man. Shout out to Pat. He says, what I like about these fights is that all the favorites can't afford to sleep on their opponent. Otherwise, they could go to sleep. They all have to stay on their P's and Q's. That's a fact. And not to mention that, you know, like I said, I don't know if you're in here, but I think that Bam Rodriguez versus Puma Martinez is going to be the best fight, man. I've said this a while ago, and I'm standing on that, man. I think that the most anticipated fight is Devin Haney and Brian Norman, right? Brian Norman defending his WBO belt against Devin Haney, making his official debut at 147. Some people say it's his second fight. His first fight was a catchweight at 144, so some people consider that welterweight, but it's a catchweight, so it's up to you, whatever. But I think this is a first official fight of his at what is that, a car? His first official fight at, my bad, I looked through the window. First official fight at welterweight division. So I think that people anticipate this because, you know, Devin Haney is talked about for better or for worse, you know, and then Brian Norman, I think he's showing a lot of charisma. So I think that's the biggest fight as far as people's anticipation. But I think for having the most at stake is definitely because they're all title fights, right? One's for a vacant belt, the WBO vacant 135 lightweight title for Abdullah Mason of Sam Noakes. One's for the light heavyweight WBC title of David Benavidez. He's defending against Anthony Yard, you know what I'm saying, American fighter versus British fighter. And then the other fight we have WBO champion welterweight Brian Norman, American fighter versus Devin Haney, American fighter. But then Puma Martinez and Bam Rodriguez. You got Puma Martinez, a WBA champion at 115, junior bantamweight. And then Bam Rodriguez, American Puma's Argentinian or Argentine. He's an Argentine, right? And then Bam Rodriguez is WBO champion, yeah, American champion. So that has the most at stake, right? It has 3 belts. It's a unification fight. So by definition, that one is the most intriguing fight for what is on the line. That has the most on the line. So, and I actually think that's going to be the most competitive fight from start to finish. I am picking Bam Rodriguez to stop Puma late. But it's gonna be a great fight, man. Puma's a tough fighter, man. And a lot of people don't know this, right? Back when they were saying nobody wants to fight Bam, that wasn't true. Puma Martinez has been calling out Bam Rodriguez for a while. So he finally gets his wish. And like I said, hopefully Bam is fully focused, like Pat was saying, because you know he just had a baby. Congratulations to him, and God bless the Rodriguez family. But man, that might take your mind off of things. You know, hopefully if anybody could focus up and get the job done, it's Bam Rodriguez. But you know, I don't think these are ideal situations, an ideal circumstance for him. But, you know, it is what it is, man. You got to go fight. Sometimes things happen. You never know how things are going to go. And we'll see how it goes, man. He did have a great performance against the former undefeated South African Fumalele Kafu when he got that WBO belt. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Shout out to Just Draw. He said, how I call into the show. I'm about to give the whole card predictions. Hey, man, use the link. The link is at the top of the screen. At the top of the comments, sorry, at the top of the chat. Dang. Yeah, the link is at the top of the chat, man. You got to hit the link, man. You can call in. Let me know if you did that already, and I can walk you through it. He said, Pugilist said, real good fight. All from the Garcia tree. Bam Rodriguez with Robert and Puma with Marcos Maidana, who was with Robert once upon a time. Yeah, facts. Hey, shout out to Pugilism. Hey, chat, too. I was going through my mods my mods on my channel, and I want to say too, it's so easy to erase a mod. So I accidentally erased some mods. So if you don't have your mod, that's my bad. But you know, you'll get it back if I see you in here more often. So I accidentally erased some of the mods. So if you don't have a mod, don't think that I was hating on you. Hey, you were in there, bro. I just saw you. Somebody just joined the weight room. I was just about to pull you up. You gotta have some patience. You join the weight room, and then I'll pull you up. Whoever just joined the weight room, I'm gonna pull you up, man. Go back. I didn't see who it was, but it just popped up on my screen. Shout out to Pat Bandero. He says, did you watch the press conference? Yes, sir. I watched it. We talked about it. Yes, sir. He said, did you watch the press conference? Yep. I don't really like Yard's energy, man. Lions in the comp. He talks too much about his past like they are victories. Yeah, I agree with that. It makes me a little nervous. Makes me nervous for him. I'm not saying he's nervous. I can't stand Smoochie, bro. I can't stand Smoochie. It makes me a little nervous. No, I recently just did it. I did it like 2 days ago. Smoochie, I literally just did it just now. It wasn't something I did a long time ago. That ain't had nothing to do with yours, but I did recently just do it. And some people I remembered, but some people I forgot. If I didn't see you, that's probably why I forgot. Like Pugilism, I remember that he was a bot because I see his name, but I didn't remember at the time when I was trying to, because you could find people and give it back, but there was no way for me to see it. You know, so yeah, Smoochie funny. He said he talking about his past. Shout out to Pat there. He said Yards talking about his past like their victories. Yeah, I'm a little nervous too for that because it is something that he could take away and be happy about, but you shouldn't. It almost feels like he's a little bit too excited about losing. So I don't think he's nervous, but I'm nervous for him. I don't think he's nervous though. Benavides talks about the fight. Yeah, I agree. Did it not his pops walk? Oh, well, his pops did it recently pass away. So his pops passed away and his mom passed away during COVID, if I'm not mistaken. But one of his assistant trainers just recently passed away. Maybe that's what you're talking about, Joaquin. So recently one of his assistant coaches passed away, I think like very recent, like a month ago or something like that. So yeah, man, it's unfortunate, man. So shout out to him and rest in peace to his trainer. I agree with you. Bam and Pumita might steal the show, man. They might steal the show. Shout out to Pat. Just Draw says, well, shit, I say it here. No, I'm about to pull you up right now, bro. No, I'm not even gonna read it. I'm gonna pull you up. Just Draw. Yo, Smoochie is funny, bro. I was reading Pat's comment, and then because my eyes be moving, and I saw Smoochie's comment, dog. Yo, Smoochie funny, bro. Smoochie a hater. That was funny. I ain't gonna lie. That made me laugh out loud. My brother Al Booger in the building. What's good, brethren? Smoochie funny as hell. You'll get it back though. Keep rocking. Those in the chat, man. I had too many mods anyway. Shout out to Pugilism. I know you ain't tripping, Pugilism. But let me pull up, hold on, I'll be right back. Let me run this ad real quick. I'll be right back. Go blow my nose and I'm gonna pull up, who's this? Justin. For your listening pleasure, we are now on Spotify under Dr. Boxing Talk. The same thing on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, everything. Dr. Boxing Talk, man. Come rock with us. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Oh man, that was funny, bro. Oh man, all right, bet. Let me pull him. Let me pull him up, man. My brother Oster in the building, big member in the building. All right, let me pull up this guy here, man. This is his first time in here, so let's get it. Yo, Just Draw. What's good, bro? How are you?
My bad. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I hear you loud and clear, man. How are you, bro?
Oh, hold on.
Now, some technical difficulties. Take your time. Take your time. Oster says, what's good? What's good, my brother? How you doing, man?
Wait, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. I hear you loud and clear. I think you having trouble hearing me. We hear you loud and clear. If you're on your phone, I don't know how you calling in. He's trying to get right, chat. So we're gonna keep it going until till he gets his stuff together, man. I don't know, man. I think the fight I think people are underestimating Puma, man. I think because they don't know him. Like, I saw somebody say, who has Puma beat? It's like, bro, like, you got to recognize that because you don't know somebody doesn't mean they haven't beaten anybody. Those things aren't always synonymous, you know? Puma Martinez, he beat Kazuta Ioka, man. That was his last fight. I think, was that his last fight? Yeah. The 2 rematches, and you got to check him out, bro. Like, Kazuta Ioka is a big fighter in Japan. He beat him twice, and then he also beat Jerwin Ancajas. He's also a former champion, you know. I believe he's a Filipino fighter. Is Jerwin Ancajas from the Philippines? I believe he's from the Philippines. Like, so you just gotta do a little bit of research, man. I'm not saying that you got to do everything, but I think it's kind of wrong to question a guy if you don't pay attention to the guy. Of course, you're not gonna know if you don't pay attention.
Your mic is all the way down. I can't hear nothing from you. I hear you talking though.
You said you can't hear me? You hear me now?
Like, I can't, like, you're on one volume. I could barely hear you.
Okay, so you
Is your mic
probably
on?
yeah, nah, it's all your end then. You probably are you on YouTube? Or do you have the YouTube open as well? Because he said he could barely hear me, so that means it's on his side. Because I'm all the way. Y'all can hear me in the chat row, right? So it's the same mic. So that means it's probably just I don't know if you're on your phone or you're on your PC. If you're on your PC, I could try to help you. You might have to go to your settings and then turn up the Discord volume. He said, do we use the email associated with the YouTube account? Doctor, I can't log into the doctor's corner. Really? Yeah, you can use any email. Check this out right here. I'm going to put the Doc's Corner for the newsletter, man. Y'all check that out as well. Doc's Corner. We do the weekly newsletter, man. You said you can't sign up. Hold on. Let me get you right, bro.
Oh shit, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good. You can hear me better now or what?
Yeah, I put my headphones in.
Okay,
Yeah, I
okay.
hear you
Okay,
perfectly
great.
now.
Great. Let me know if you need some more help, Pat. Yeah, okay, y'all hear me good. We good. Okay, bet. Tell her to put it in. Yo, Swooshy a troll, bro. Yo, what's good though, Justin, man? Welcome, man. Your first time calling in, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Hey man, thank you.
You're welcome,
Hey,
my
I'm
brother.
just I'd love to call in, man. You one of the boxing analysts that actually have a brain. You
Man, I
you know how to
appreciate
put
it.
shit together, man. You got some logic. You have your biases, but you put some logic behind it.
I appreciate
I
it, bro.
respect that.
I appreciate it, bro. Shout out to you, man. Thank you. That's all. That's all I aim to do. You know what I'm saying? We ain't always gonna agree. That's the nature of sports and sports debate and
Yeah,
discussion. But yeah, man, I appreciate that compliment, man. I see it as a compliment. So thank you.
thank you, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get to it. I'm gonna make it quick.
Nah, do your thing, man. You got a whole 3 minutes, man. You ain't gotta make it quick, man. Take your
Okay.
time.
I got Benavidez by KO.
Okay.
I got Haney by late stoppage. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm explaining it to y'all. I
Mhm.
got Bam by decision, and I
Mhm.
got Mason by decision.
Bam by decision,
All right.
base by. Okay, I like that. I like that. I like those picks.
Okay. I got Benavidez. I don't know. I'll say David. Look, I got David by KO.
Okay.
Now, I'm explaining this perfectly. Has Yard ever seen the output of David?
Nope, not to my knowledge.
Yard, not just of David, but like in general. Yard throws about 40. They usually average about like 80, 90, 100 punches per round.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's between both of them. And Yard throws about 40 to about 50, maybe 60 if he gets average. You know, if he really gets up there. But mind you, this is gonna be a like a fast-paced fight. David already made the weight. We see how he was against Gavaskis. That's how you say his name.
Oh, Alexander Vosnik. I got you. Yep. I got you.
Yeah. We see that he's still keeping active. He slowed down a little bit, but it's not a major difference.
I'm with you.
So I don't think it'll be like the one punch knockout power. You know, David ain't really known for that.
Right.
But I think it's gonna be the volume, and I think it's gonna come. I'm not gonna say KO early.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think David doesn't really get KOs early, right?
Facts.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna happen like round 9 or 10. Round 9 or 10.
Yep.
Mind you, this is a Yard that's got beaten up by Arthur.
Yep.
by
Beterbiev.
you know,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, I just don't think you can come back after someone like Arthur, but you need some time off.
You need that time off, huh? You got to go chill on something for a little bit. Yeah, I got Benavides by stoppage as well though. So I'm with you on that. Late stoppage.
A lot of y'all be, yeah. A lot of y'all be sleeping on Arthur because he not like one of them he not acting his ass off and he not acting all crazy with a camera. So a lot of y'all don't think Arthur like that, man.
Facts.
Arthur like that.
Facts. Undisputed, man. Former undisputed.
Yeah, he's debatably one of the strongest light heavyweights ever. I say he's top 10, just off strength. If we talking punching power strength, he's up there in them top 10 light heavyweights.
Facts.
So I think Yard is a sharp fighter. You know, he's definitely on a decline. And I think David Haney is gonna retire him.
Retire him? Ooh, I don't know about that. I'm gonna give him a little bit. I'm gonna give him a little bit. I think he can bounce back, but I think he'll be
two, 3 more fights and then retire.
And then done? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was kind of crazy to retire right after. Look, okay. Look. Let's get into Haney. A lot of y'all think y'all gonna call me crazy while I said stoppage. This gonna come in the late rounds. I think 10 or 11. The reason why I think that, guys, is because a lot of y'all think because of weight that it's a disadvantage. It ain't. A lot of these fighters say that because when they lose, they be like, "Oh, it was the weight," so they can save their ass. They don't want to admit that sometimes it was just a skill issue. Sometimes not only was he bigger, faster, and stronger, but he was also more skillful. So with Haney making his weight, mind you guys, this is 100% Devin. This ain't no weight drain. This ain't no 70%, 90%, 80%. This is everything he has. And after watching these videos, I picked up on something. Devin said it himself, said this is his first training camp where he can work all of his skill and not worry about making weight.
Weight cut, yeah.
Guys, I'm not like no amateur, no professional, but I know how it is. Trying to like, there's ways you train. Like there's ways you train to lose weight, and there's ways you train to like increase your skill set and power. This is a first camp where Devin, he doesn't even worry about making weight. Everything is invested straight into his skill. So we might see a whole new form of Devin. Okay, and the reason why I say this is because not only that, Haney knows what people are saying about him. So this fight is going to be a statement. He's going to be locked in. This ain't going to be no, oh, let me grab my money in this. Like, no, he's going to prove a point. Because if he knows himself that if he doesn't drop a performance tonight, people ain't going to watch him. I like Haney, but I'm not trying to see a Jose Ramirez again. And if he drops that performance again, he knows himself that his career is going to take a serious nosedive. So this is a Haney that's 100% full training camp, eating what he wants, and making weight properly and trying to prove a point. So I got Haney by stoppage by 11 rounds.
11 round stoppage. Okay.
Yeah. I think the fight gonna go like this. Haney's gonna just like, he's gonna stay on. He's gonna be on the back foot. People gonna say he's running them first 4 rounds. 5 to 9, he'll start turning it up. He'll eventually start chipping at him. And round 10 and 11, it'll start the show. And he'll start really turning it up because Haney does throw combinations. Haney will throw combinations.
Absolutely.
So I think round 10 and 11, he'll start putting them punches together. And eventually, we all know if you get hit enough times, you're gonna go down.
Exactly.
So I don't think Norman's. I think a lot of people are saying Norman's chin is better because we seen Haney's get tapped.
Right.
We have seen, but these are by bigger guys. So he kind of saved from that. But like I said, in the end of the day, if you get hit by enough punches, you're gonna go down.
Right.
So
yeah, we have some people questioning Norman's chin a little bit too with the Boca Chica and stuff like that, but with the Boca Chica fight and stuff. But yeah, no, you're right though, man. I don't think that's a bad. I actually don't think you're crazy, man. Like I said, I think it's. I actually explained that I think that Devin Haney could potentially stop him. Like you said, power is not just. Power is about timing, man, and catching somebody. You know, if you get hit, the punches that hurt the most are the ones you don't see coming. And if he can catch him off guard like he caught Regis Prograis, then hey, man, who thought that he was capable of dropping Regis Prograis? I mean, and that happened. So I don't think you're that crazy, man. And you explained it too. That's what we like, the elaboration. So, but go ahead, proceed, man. I'm not mad at it. I disagree. I'm going Norman, but I'm not mad at that at all.
That's fine. I got Bam by decision.
Okay.
I watched some Bam here and there.
Mhm.
I need to start watching the lower weight class more. But
Yeah, yeah, man, they're interesting, man. I think you should, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I recommend
yeah.
that.
Yeah, they starting to turn up right now.
Yes, sir.
But Bam, uh, I got Bam by decision just because I don't know. I think y'all can call me a hater, but I think he's fighting old. He's fighting too many old men.
Bro, you not a hater, bro. Hey, that's great. Hey, chat. See, y'all say I be hating, chat. Hey, shout out. This is his
Um,
first. Hey, this your first time here, right?
yes,
Come on now. He just
I
said the
watched
same
him.
thing I said. Come on now, chat. They be calling me a hater. Not everybody, of course, but some people be calling me a hater. Say I be saying Bam Rodriguez beat up old men. Bro, Rob Ciclo Estrada, that's a great win, but he's older. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? He's
because
older, bro. Come on, man. A lot of
said
guys are Carlos Cuadras, older. Pedro Guevara, older. Come on, bro.
yep. I
I
gave
like
him his
Bam.
respect now, but I was like, damn, I wish Estrada was like a early 30s or something.
You feel me?
Because when he like 38, 37 something.
Yeah, so I don't remember exactly. Probably like 36, but you know, the lower weights they fight so often, so frequently
Well,
that's older. You know what I'm saying? Like the lower
yeah,
weights, yeah. When you're like 35, 36 at the lower weights, man, that's pretty old, man. Like Roman Chocolatito
yeah.
Gonzalez, I think he's only like 38, but
Oh yeah, he
he
used to be
old
that
though.
guy.
Yeah, he older because he has
He
a
used
lot
to
of
be that
fights,
guy.
and you know when you're small like that, the fights they go a long time too. You see what I'm saying? They can take more punishment for a longer time, and yeah, you get more mileage on you at the smaller weights. But
Yeah, I just think he fights old men. When you're old, we all when you old, you come on now. When you take them shots to the body, you ain't gonna hold up as much.
mm-hmm.
Um, I think this is Bam's what? This is a fight in a long time where he's fighting a young, hungry Mexican dude.
Mm-hmm.
I know Martinez.
Well, he's from Argentina. He's from Argentina.
Yeah, I don't really know Martinez like that,
Yeah.
but I can see that he's a very tough fighter. It ain't gonna just be one shot that's gonna put him down.
No, sir.
So, and the way Bam fights, I don't think he'll really outclass him as much as y'all think he is. I
Mm,
know he's got some good wins, but look at the style matchup.
exactly.
Bam fights him that Mexican guard, but he puts some. I like to call it some seasoning. All right, he puts some seasoning on his Mexican guard,
Hey,
so he'll move. All right, not only will he keep the high guard up, but he'll still keep it up while moving and still outbox you. But with someone
facts.
like Martinez, I think Martinez knows that and he's gonna move with them. And if anything, I don't think those angles will be as effective for someone like Martinez
Okay.
because he's just really fucking tough. I got banned by decision on that.
Not mad at that. Yeah, I got banned by 10 round stoppage.
Okay. I got Mason by decision.
Me too. That's
I
what's
was
up.
gonna say I did switch. I said he was gonna stop him, but now I
Mm-hmm.
thought about it, I was like he's gonna beat the brakes off him, but he ain't gonna stop him.
Okay.
The reason why is because I don't think Mason. I think they both damn near equal in power. But the difference is Mason gonna land like that? Like, or is he gonna be able to hit him as much as he can? If he can hit him as much as he can, he can get a stoppage. He can definitely get a stoppage. I don't think because this is a young guy.
Yep.
This
Sam Noakes
ain't
is
this ain't
young.
no Nakatalia. You know this
Yeah, true.
Nakatalia.
Yeah. He was a little old Jeremiah Nakatalia. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He got Nakatalia got canned by Shakur. Now Shakur is a great fighter, but to get canned, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't
He
know if
said
I
you're
can
not
put you
going,
on
huh?
that.
You're not going for that one, huh?
I know Shakur is a great fighter, but
He
to get
is.
canned to not win a round off him, I don't think you just ready for that elite level in general.
Okay.
So I think Nakatalia,
Think it was a little
I
over the
think
hill by the
Nakatalia,
time Mason got him.
yep,
Okay.
yep. I don't think he was ever that good. He's Nakatalia kind of reminds me of Julius and Dongo,
Okay.
my
Okay. I
opinion.
like that. I like that. I like that
He
comparison.
kind of reminds like I think he kind of got moved properly and was kind of just sacrificed to the wolves to just build up Shakur, and he was like, oh, let's sacrifice him again to build up Mason. So with Sam Noakes, I think Sam Noakes knows that this is going to be a fast, twitchy fighter. He has to keep his head moving up, and I think he's going to be winning the rounds. But I think Sam Noakes also he fought some power punches too. He got a chance. So
Yeah.
out that alone, I don't think Mason will stop him. I think he'll get a very damn what's the word? a very confident decision. Like you
Okay,
won't
a
argue
very
about it.
confident. Okay, I like it, man. So what
Yeah,
fight are you
that's
looking
it.
forward to the most on that card?
Oh, Haney versus Norman.
Haney versus Norman. Okay. That's what's up, man. Yes, sir, man. I
We seen.
appreciate your predictions, man. I like them, man. I know you said you think people gonna hate, man. I actually like your predictions, man. You know, we have the Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes one in common. We have both have Benavidez winning. I have Benavidez by late stoppage. I have who else? I have banned by late stoppage. I think you said you have banned by decision. The only one we differ on is a Haney and Norman. So I actually like that, man. I think it's a 50-50 fight, man. So I thought your predictions were fire, bro. So don't let nobody
Well,
tell you different, man. Those are good predictions.
hey, I root the best foreign fighters, but I still try to
Exactly.
keep it realistic. So
Right.
yeah, I'm showing me crazy on Haney, but I just want Haney to be the best fighter. I don't think the industry doing him right now.
They not doing them right, man. You know they not, bro. It's crazy,
I
man.
don't.
And this is coming from
We
a
seen it.
Gervonta Tank Davis fan. You know, I like Tank, but I like boxing more. I don't like any fighter more than I like the
Yeah.
sport. You feel me? So I don't like what they real anti Haney right now. I think that's corny.
Yeah, we just seen it with Crawford. His whole career has been getting shut out,
Come on now.
and I don't like that shutting out shit.
I don't like that either, bro.
Like, so when a fighter gets shut out, even with Rolly,
Rollies, another fighter I had the pleasure of interviewing, man. Go check that out, y'all. But yeah, Rolly as well, man. Shout out to Rolly, man. Getting that dub on Ryan's head top, man. They tried to spoon feed Ryan the title, man.
They that whole promo,
Come on now.
they showed nothing but Ryan versus Devin. I'm thinking,
Yep.
I actually thought that fight was a rematch. I thought it was next.
You feel
When
me?
I found out it was Rolly, I said, oh hell no, I'm not going for Ryan no more.
All right.
They doing
Yes,
Rolly,
sir,
they doing Rolly
man.
wrong.
They doing them wrong, bro. Doing them wrong, man. Doing them
But
straight
also,
wrong, bro.
if Devin wins this fight, I want to see him. I want to see Connor Ben. I want to see Rolly. If Ryan is up for the rematch off PEDs, I want to see that.
Yep.
And that's probably it at 147. If you really want it, you can go to 154.
Come on now.
But thank you for having me.
Hey, man, you already know, man. I appreciate you calling up, man. It really, I love hearing people's opinions and stuff like that, man. So I appreciate the compliment as well, man. And I can say the same about you, man. You think about your opinions too. You don't just jump out as Captain Save a Boxer and just pick somebody. You think about it. So shout out to you, bro. But I do have a question for you, go, man. I always gotta ask, but it's your first time. I gotta ask you a question, random trivia, man. What color is the IBF belt?
Yeah, I don't
You don't know?
even know, bro.
Nah, that's all good, man. I
I
just
don't
want to
know,
ask you a
bro.
random question, man. That's all good.
Look,
Don't feel bad.
I just watch fights. I
Huh?
just watch fights.
Nah, that's all good.
I
It's all
literally-
good. Nah, it's all good. I just asked random questions, man. It's all good. You ain't got it though. It's red though. It's the red one.
All right.
Yes, sir. But all right, Jess. I appreciate you, man. Hopefully, I'll catch you later, man.
All right,
bro. God bless. Shout out to Just, man. Just draw, man. Shout out to him, man. Dope brother, man. You know, he called in for the first time. Big up to him. First time calling in. And yeah, man. That was dope, bro. I love to hear people's opinions, man. He broke it down. The only one I have a varying opinion on is the Brian Norman Devin Haney, but I don't, bro. I've said this in my breakdown as well, bro. And it's exactly what he said. He said that you don't. People think that you have to have one knockout power. You don't, bro. Power is about balance. It's about delivery. It's about timing. It's about setting up. It's about a lot of things, bro. And the punches that hurt the worst, the punches that hurt the most, are the ones that you don't see coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at Errol Spence. You can't really look at that and be like, oh, Terrence Crawford was just knocking him out cold. Nah, he was just hitting with a lot of shots that Errol Spence didn't see coming and he wasn't ready for. He was in a vulnerable situation. He was unbalanced. You know what I'm saying? While he was going through that imbalance, he was getting cracked. So, yeah, man, I think that I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that he could stop Norman. I just don't think he'll do it because I think it was B-Dog said in the chat, you know, his last stoppage was Antonio Moran, if I'm not mistaken. That was a little minute ago. And I just don't, even though he's going to be strong, I anticipate him to be stronger. I don't know if he'll be that much stronger to where he'll stop somebody like Norman. I think Norman has a pretty decent chin. I think that, you know, he's growing into his own, but I'm not mad at anybody thinking that. I actually like those kind of predictions because he's putting thought into it. And I think sometimes when you hear a thoughtful prediction, like, bro, this is boxing, man. Anything can happen. You know, it's not he's just saying, oh, yeah, I like Devin Haney, so we're going to stop him. He's actually telling you how he's going to do it, how he could accomplish that. And I agree. That is how he could do it. You see what I'm saying? I actually talked about that. But like me, I'm just going with Norman. I'm going with Norman by late stoppage. But shout out to you, man. I appreciate those opinions. And we have my brother Bodega Ty in the background. I'm going to pull him up. Yes, sir. Shout out to Just. We got my brother Bodega Ty in the building. Mr. Raw actually in the building. Yes, sir, man. What's going on, G?
Yeah, not much. Was in the background just listening.
I appreciate you, bro. Shout out to you, man. You heard, hey, bro. I know that was like music to years, man. My boy just got Haney by stoppage, man. I know you got Haney by decision, but hey, stop it. Hey, if Haney gets a stoppage, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I gotta put him pound for pound. I gotta look at my pound for pound list, but I have to have him at least 7, 8. At least.
I think I'm in agreement with him. It's only one thing we would defer with. It was just something he put in the chat.
What he put in the chat?
As far as saying 4 belts is too many, and bringing up the UFC motto.
I missed it. Speaking about belts. Oh, they got too many right now. Bring back 3. Okay. Go ahead and elaborate, please.
Typing. There's nothing wrong with the amount of belts. It gives a lot of these fighters opportunity. The problem is when organizations start doing little side deals, like the WBC, to get you ranked. As long as your promoter can fork over 10 to 15,000, you could be placed in the top 15.
Talk to him.
The WBO, as long as you have some type of affiliation to Bob Arum, you good.
What Bob orders.
As long as you're currently in some type of contract or your manager or whatever your promotion is tied to the PBC, you're good.
What benefits Al?
The IBF, you gotta get it out the muscle. They actually stick to the letter of their laws.
Come on now. Shout out to President Daryl Peoples.
As they go.
My fault. You said they're not making the rules as they go?
Yeah.
Facts.
You don't see the president talking about I talked to the board and, we believe it's for the betterment of boxing that we have this guy be champion.
Right. Come on, man. What kind of nonsense is that, man? What kind of nonsense is that, bro? Oh, I got to get your opinion on something when you're done. Bring back who?
Suing them.
Oh, facts.
Because
facts.
Before the IBF actually became what it was right now, it took a boxer suing the fuck out of them to get his opportunity.
Come on now.
Now they're strict with it. They don't care how much money you bring in as a champion. You will submit your paperwork at the proper time if you're trying to unify or if you're trying to take a voluntary, which will be within our 15.
Absolutely.
Ain't no such thing as ducking a mandatory if you with the IBF.
Come on now. Talk to him. That's a fact. That if you don't do it, they will kick you the freak up out of there. Bink. They will kick you the freak up out of there. That goes for the IBF eliminators, all that stuff too. Look how many people try to go into another direction. Looking at Zele Zhang, who was ordered to fight Bakoli. Looking at Ajit Kabayel, who was ordered to fight Bakoli through the IBF. That is so. You'll see a lot of fighters avoid the IBF and say, "Oh, it's a rehydration clause." It might be that too, but some other stuff too, man. They don't want to get put in a position where they might have to fight somebody that they don't really want to fight. Shout out to Ty for bringing that up.
But you go to the WBA, which has similar rules, but they're just
12. Right. It's crazy, bro.
So what was the question?
Oh, I had a question for you. What's up with this Ryan Garcia, man? And the WBC, bro. February 21st, Mario Barrios, Ryan Garcia. Title fight. It's insane, bro. It's insane, bro. The man Ryan Garcia just came off of a loss to Rolly Romero. A no contest with Devin Haney. A win with Oscar Duarte. And a stoppage loss to Gervonta Tank Davis. And he's getting a title shot. He's 1-1-0-1. Right? No, sorry. No, I'm sorry. He's 1-2-0-1. Because he had 2 losses. Tank in his last 4 fights. Tank and Rolly, 2 losses. 1 win to Oscar Duarte, and then he had a no contest. So he's 1-2, 1 victory, 2 losses, 0 draws, 1 no contest. 1-2-0-1.
That's the last couple fights.
Last 4 fights, bro.
Only fight at 47, he took a L.
Yep. Rolly Romero. Compliments of Rolly Romero, WBA champion. Also compliments of Ryan Garcia. Only fight at
I feel like
147.
WBC is
took a
going
L.
after the money
Man.
or perceivable revenue they think they're going to get.
Yep. But what's crazy, Ty, is that WBC just lifted the suspension, right? Remember they suspended him for the racial slurs, right?
Yeah.
And off a suspension, you get a title shot? Hey, bro. Hey, Ty, bro. What are we doing, man?
Cutting down the amount of belts wouldn't change that if the WBC is still around.
Bro, it's crazy, dog. Life is wild, man. Life is wild, man. I don't know, bro. I think that's a crazy look. I think it's a crazy look, man.
I understand why they did that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we understand it. We understand.
Pacquiao was ineligible to fight Mario again.
Yep.
The person that they were already trying to match Mario with, Devin Haney, went a different direction.
Yep.
By way of the Turk.
Yep.
Because that's what his fight that he was trying to get at first.
Yep. They all wanted Barrios. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Even Conor Ben wants Barrios. Pacquiao wants Barrios. Conor Ben wants Barrios. Garcia wants Barrios. Haney wanted Barrios. Everybody wants Barrios, bro. Barrios got to tighten up, man. He out here looking like a free meal, man. Everybody wants Barrios, bro. Barrios out here looking like free money, man. Come on, Barrios. I'll be rooting for Barrios, man.
Ramos and Pacquiao?
Nah, two draws back to back, if I'm not mistaken. Chat, anybody could confirm or deny? I think that Barrios' last two fights were Pacquiao and Ramos, right? Abel Ramos. So he had 2 draws back to back. My boy looking bad, man. Oster said, Doc, it's not crazy. It's called boxing. You're right. It's sad. It's not crazy. Now, go ahead, Ty.
I get a draw constitutes as a successful defense, but that's still nasty.
Nasty, bro.
You haven't won a fight in maybe a year or so? Because what, you only fight once or twice a year?
Yep.
And that's supposed to be the defending champion? When are you going to be mandated? Why are you fighting Ryan next?
Come on,
Because at least when they were talking about Devin, he was number 1.
Right.
Right.
Via the WBC, since he used to be a WBC champion at what was it? 140. Thank you. Yeah, 140 and 35. Right. WBC champion at 140 is who now? Super Matias? Yeah, Super Matias beating Alberto Puello. Yeah, man. I think I just think it's just a bad look, man. Like we got to at least put a little bit of merit to it. It's like, bro, the man popped dirty for PEDs, right? A man came in overweight consecutively against Oscar Duarte and Devin Haney. The man was quote unquote suspended for using racial slurs by the same sanctioning body, WBC President Mauricio Solomon. The man, we talk about domestic violence. You know, I don't like to go get fighters' personal business, but you know, we just saw Gervonta Tank Davis lose a fight, whether it's a cover up or not, allegedly for hitting his girlfriend or whatever, right? That's why the Jake Paul fight was canceled. Some people say they're just using it as a front because it wasn't selling, whatever. Either way, that had something to do with it. Ryan Garcia had a domestic. A lot of people forget he was put on a restraining order by his baby mama or ex-wife, whatever she is. Both, I think. Yeah, ex-wife and baby mama. And then he was literally put on a restraining order due to a domestic violence case. This happened last year. It's like, bro, like how many the man got? I don't know, man. It's just crazy, bro. And not to mention, when it comes to the boxing side, he lost his last fight, and like Ty so eloquently already articulated, his only fight at welterweight he lost, and he's getting a title shot. And that shot was that fight was for an interim title, so it was essentially a title shot because the person that he lost to is the WBA champion right now. So really, technically, he's getting 2 back-to-back title shots, bro. He's getting back-to-back title shots, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't know what, like, win for what? what you got to win for, bro? What you got to win for, bro? Just get your Instagram followers up and, yeah, you get a title shot. What you got to win for, bro? Only way you got to win is if you fight in the IBF, I guess. They're the only ones. Shout out to IBF and President Daryl Peoples. I'm not saying they do everything right. I'm not saying that you have to be excited by everybody that they have ranked highly, but at least they have some type of procedure and they give people an opportunity to go through the rankings and earn opportunity for a title through merit. You see what I'm saying? Whether you're a big fighter that's known like, I don't know, Daniel Dubois, I guess he's not really too big, but whether you know like Daniel Dubois or you're somebody unknown like Karen, you get a title shot if you earn it through the rankings, man. So I don't know, bro. It's just kind of weak and disheartening. But shout out to Ryan Garcia though. I don't blame Ryan. I blame the sanctioning body. Sorry, go ahead, Ty.
I was gonna ask you, what do you think of the matchup though between Barrios and Ryan?
It's interesting, bro. I'm going with
I see it
Barrios.
about even.
Yeah, I think it's even. I think it's 50-50. And that's sad. And I'm gonna be honest, I try to separate my bias or my emotion from I try to make an assessment who I'm rooting for and who I think is gonna win. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I can do that this one because I'm rooting for Barrios for sure. But I might only be picking Barrios because I'm rooting for him. Like, I could even argue as bad as Ryan looked against Rolly, Barrios looked just as bad against, like, after the 4th round against Abel Ramos, he looked just as bad. He definitely didn't look good against Pacquiao, who's 46 years old. So, man, bro, Barrios got to win this one. I'm done defending him, man. I ain't going to defend him as a good champion no more if he loses this one, bro. How you see it? Who you got? I think it's a 50-50 fight, though, to answer your question.
There's too many problems between the two. That's why I got it at 50-50. If Barrios was to win, I see it happening to be like a split decision. If Ryan was to win, I see it being a late knockout. They both got problems.
Big problems.
Like Barrios, he's shown us that he's a broken fighter to a certain extent, and he's not a closer. At least at 47, he isn't.
Right.
He couldn't close out Manny Pacquiao.
Nope.
In a fight that he should have knocked his old ass out.
Yep.
And Ramos, he started off that thing cooking with grease. And maybe he might have got some in his eye. I don't know what happened. And he just started getting packed out. It's like he won the first 6 rounds of that fight and lost the last 6.
Come on now.
Ryan on the other side, yeah, he got power. He got that left hook. But the thing I worry about with him in this matchup is they always like to say that Devin doesn't fight people his own size. He's always been bigger than everybody else. That's been the same case with Ryan Garcia as well.
His entire career. Essentially. Crazy.
He's been fighting a bunch of smaller guys.
Yep. And he's been coming in overweight. Come on, bro.
Yeah. He ain't going to be able to really do that against Barrios, who's bigger than him. It's a toss-up for me.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. What up, Kane? Kane Novelli in the building. Yeah, man. I don't know, bro. Yeah, I'm be honest. Like I said, I gotta say, I'm not saying that Ryan deserves it through merit, but if you could get a title shot, if the sanctioning body wants to give it to you, then you deserve it, bro. I can't blame Ryan for that. It's the sanctioning bodies that, you can't give yourself a title opportunity. So whatever title opportunity a fighter could get, shout out to them. Shout out to them, man. But brother, man, I got some family in town, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide, bro. I appreciate you calling. Did you have anything else you want to say real quick before I slide?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay, I appreciate it, man. Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you calling in. And bro, 2 more days, bro. It's crazy now. Hey, we gonna find out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 2 more days, man. Good Lord willing. This, bro, I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I gotta get off. I gotta make a video. Chat, I'm gonna just show you. I don't even want to talk about it. Ty, I don't even want to talk about it.
All the B-sides is losing. That's all I gotta say.
All the B-sides losing? Ty, bro.
Yep.
Bro, I'm done with boxing, bro. Bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not done with boxing, but I'm done with boxing, bro.
What, something just got finalized?
Something got finalized, all right. Check this out, chat. Breaking news. We're gonna read this together. Subriel Matias delivered an adverse analytical finding, aka AAF, for the performance-enhancing drug Ostarine. I want people to say it doesn't matter now because y'all said Ostarine doesn't matter when Ryan Garcia did it. You know what I'm saying? So say, because it's the same Austrian that Amir Khan was on, same Austrian that Alexander Povetkin was on, same Austrian that Ryan Garcia on. Now Subriel Matias is on it too. But I want y'all to say it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. Right? Billionth of a gram, right? Subriel Matias delivered an adverse analytical finding for the performance-enhancing drug Ostarine in a VADA test. Sources tell The Ring. Matias's WBC junior welterweight title defense versus Dalton Smith on January 10th in New York is now in jeopardy. Matias has 10 days to request testing of his B sample. Bro, this is crazy, bro. This is crazy, bro. Remember, everybody said Austrian doesn't mean anything. Remember that, chat? This is yet another fighter on Austrian. Bro, this is sad, bro. I like Super Matias too, bro. I can't trust none of these fighters, bro. I can't trust none of them, bro. We can't trust none of them, bro.
Something to that.
Yes, sir.
I think instead of letting certain fighters, when their B-side sample comes out, instead of letting them slide with an inconclusive test, count that as a positive. This is not like at work when, you know what I mean, they give you a drug test because they thought you had marijuana. You popped hot for the first one and the second one comes inconclusive because you cleaned out your system. The minute you come inconclusive, you should be put on some type of program or suspended.
Automatically enrolled. Facts, or not enrolled, but automatically suspended, I think. Forget rehabilitation.
It's either you're positive or you're negative. Inconclusive mean you did something.
Come on now. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have a very low tolerance for it, man. I think you should be suspended until proven. In this case, once you have because it's not even, I would say guilty to proven innocent, but like you just said, it's if you have a bad test, a negative test, or adverse analytical finding, whatever, that means that you are essentially guilty now. So it's not even guilty to proven innocent. You were innocent, and you give us reason to believe that you're guilty. So I think suspend them, and then they could prove via B sample or whatever it is that they were clean, bro. I'm not going for that, bro. That's crazy, bro. Shout out to Super Matias, but that's crazy, bro. People already thought it was a controversial fight. They thought that, Alberto Puello could have won, and then now you gonna cheat me, bro? Nah, bro. I'm not going. That's crazy. And they supposed to be friends, remember? That's crazy.
That's the man's.
That's your man's. They got your man's. They got your man's on sexual assault charges. I gotta play that, bro. That's your man's. Oh, I gotta play that. Hold on, chat. Let me see if I can find it, man. Oh, ass sex offender. Hold on, bro. I gotta play it, bro.
Oh, I was thinking about Jaime Munguia with his inconclusive.
Yep, that too.
Y'all waited so long.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy, bro. That's sad, dog. They got to chill, bro.
Hey, you know they got your mans. They got your mans on sex assault charges. Yeah, the nigga you be hanging with. The nigga you be hanging with.
They got your mans. Oh, it's disgusting, man. Guys, dang, man. Talking about people running from Subriel. That's why they running from you, bro. That's why they running from you now. Talking all that T.O. mess and Haney mess. Who said we're already at? Y'all wrong. Who said that?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, Pat said that.
Straight to the gulag.
Pat said we're already.
Well, he had. Nah, we ain't trying to hear that shit.
Yeah, man. This is crazy, bro. For what, Subriel? For what exactly, Pat? Why, bro? Why, bro? We need an explanation from irony. It's crazy. Facts and enjoys classes, man. That's crazy, bro. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm
vindicates.
Who?
Tio.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like when you said Tio Fimo, Paul said, bro. Now.
Tio said, I want to see you pee in a cup.
Yep. I want to see you pee in the cup.
He don't sound too crazy.
He don't sound crazy at all, bro. Man, this is nuts, man. That's sad. Yeah, you can't trust none of them, man. Now it's like I'm not even gonna celebrate a victory until I see test results. Now, that's crazy, bro. But my boy,
the WC clean boxing program is shit.
Yeah. Yep.
Because y'all claim y'all do a certain amount of tests on your own. Where was this?
Where was this, bro? Francisco Rodriguez is also WBC with Galalia Fire.
What they do?
Not a thing. Not a thing.
Manny Pacquiao.
Yep.
Was he tested? The world may never know.
The world may never. Hey, Pat said. Pat said, I already gonna ask for the seats. All right, I'm getting off, man. All right, bro. Shout out to you, bro. You know, hey, videos incoming, man. Y'all know I'm gonna drop a video when I get a second. But yeah, man, appreciate you calling up, man. Yes, sir, man. God bless. Shout out to Just Draw, man. Shout out to him for calling up for the first time, man. Appreciate you. Like I said, you can always call in, man. You can call in multiple times as well during the live and all that good stuff, man. Hey, Al Booger, man. He said he gonna ask for the C sample. Is crazy, bro. What can we do, Al Booger? What can we do, Al Booger? This man. We gotta see what happens with Connor Ben. We gotta see what happens with Connor Ben, bro. Hey, and shout out to Liam Parle, because you know me. Once somebody pops dirty, I'm assuming that they always been cheating. So shout out to Liam Parle for beating a dirty Subaru Matias. But yeah, man, I'm about to go ahead and call it, man. Y'all be easy, take care of yourselves. Don't forget to smack that like button if you haven't done so already. You feel me? Yeah, man. And those that are new to the channel, your first time, man, shout out to you. Welcome to the Boxing Talk family. This is where real boxing discussions goes down. And Pat, let me know if you let me know in the Discord if you still couldn't sign up to the newsletter, bro. It's once a week, every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I drop a newsletter, man, you know, that gets emailed right to you. You can sign up for it with Doc's Corner. And let me know if you have trouble, man, but it should be good. You know what I'm saying? We had 2 issues so far, man. The first issue was on footwork. The second issue of the newsletter was on power. So, hey, man. That's crazy, man. Shout out to Alberto Puello, man. Seems like he got cheated. You know, it's just crazy, but all these fighters cheating and stuff like that. But hey, we got to keep talking about it, be vocal about it in order to try to, I don't know, man, get this issue rectified, man, because PEDs are running rampant in the sport right now, man. But yeah, y'all be easy, man. I appreciate all the members. Thank you so much for doing what you do and how you contribute to this channel. Shout out to those that smack that like button. And any capacity which you support, man, is really appreciated. And check me out on all social platforms. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Boxing Talk on everything. Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff at Bonbon's Facebook. So yeah, man, we doing it big, man. We trying to keep going and growing. So y'all are a key component of that. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all. Don't forget to smack that like button. Most importantly, remember with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.